Enforcers are at home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hello and welcome in. My name is John Clement, and I'm alongside my good friend George Stockberger. George, welcome back here to First Arena.
It's good to be back, and it's good to be back, especially when the Enforcers are on quite a roll here.
Quite the roll. 7 games in a row. It's hard to believe, but that does, however, you just heard in the commercial, it's guaranteed win night, and that's never predictable here at the First Arena.
Never predictable. You never know what's going to happen. It's been a little bit of a toss-up on guaranteed win night, but I mean, the way the Enforcers have been playing, they've, like you said, they've won 7 straight. They've won 9 of their last 10, 12 of their last 13, and since the calendar turned to 2020, they are 17 of 21.
I mean, I'm sure any team in the league is going to take that record, bar none. But that being said, George, the playoffs are within, it's within earshot at this point, 15 games from now. And it's 15 including tonight, just for those doing the math at home. 15 games from now, because we still got 60 to play. The Enforcers are they've got the X next to the name. They're in the playoffs for the second straight year, and, well, it's going to be an interesting road because they've still got a chance to move into first place.
It's very close right now. 4 points behind for that first place against Danbury. And, again, it all goes back to that overtime game at they lost at one point on where a win tonight would put them in first place. So, again, you got to fight for every single point in this league. They don't come easy. And, Mentor, we've seen them already this year, fairly recently. Mentor, they've lost 11 straight games. But, again, they're a tough team. And should be an interesting one here tonight.
Well, you brought it up. Since 2020, since the calendar turned over, Mentor's won 1 game. 1 game since 2020. The Enforcers, George, 17 of 21. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but the Enforcers, they found their groove at the right time. But the question now is, who's going to step up? Because this time of the year, this is the time, and yes, I know that they're still battling for a playoff position because you obviously want home ice advantage. Watertown just 11 points behind. And I say just because you play them 5 times in the next 2 weeks. But you think about that, the Enforcers are also trying to make sure they take a healthy roster into the postseason.
I mean, it's incredibly important. We saw last year when certain guys went down, how the team kind of completely fell off at one
100%.
point. So, I mean, health is the key thing for this team right now. Again, your playoff spot is fairly solidified.
Yeah.
You're in the playoffs, but that second place is pretty solid, and you're fighting for first place. If you can get first place, that'd be fantastic. But, getting into the playoffs for the second straight year, and the second year of your franchise is just outstanding. And, again, we've said all throughout the year, everyone is contributing. When you look at that Mentor series, the guys who scored, Team of Payoff had 2 goals and 3 assists. Jurish had 2 goals and 3 assists. Glenn Patterson had 3 assists and a goal. Hudson Michaelis had a goal and 3 assists.
The recently named Rookie of the Month, Hudson Michaelis.
I think we're going to talk a lot about Hudson
I'm sure we are.
And then Andrew Harrison had 2 goals and assists. So, 5 guys totaling, 4, 7, basically 10 goals. Just those guys, just 10 goals in that last series. So that just kind of shows the depth and the power that this team has built.
The surprising thing about that is I didn't hear 2 names there. Ahmed Mahfouz and Tyler Jurich.
Nope, Jurich is in there.
Okay, sorry. My apologies. But
Mahfouz, he's usually the guy that you think about when you're talking about the guys who are leading this team in scoring. He's still picking up points every night, it seems like.
100%.
They're not necessarily coming in the bunches that they did last year, but still, Mahfouz is sitting there with 23 goals and 52 assists.
52 assists. That's unbelievable numbers right there. And you talk about it, and it's nothing new for him. He continues to put up those numbers year in and year out. And again, Ahmed Mahfouz has just been a machine since coming into the league, and tonight he will play his 400th game as a member of the FPHL. I mean, he had his 800th point just a month ago. Now he's got his 400th game. I mean, think about that. That's more than 2 points a game. That is unbelievable.
I mean, he's had a fantastic career. Elmira has really embraced him. I think he's really embraced Elmira. coming in as the assistant head coach and as the captain in the inaugural season, and coming back was really important, I think, for his team. We talked about how certain guys didn't come back from last year, but a lot of the core guys came back. Mapuz, Yarwood, Patterson, passing him, they all came back, and then you add in a couple of these new guys, and then you bring back a Stepan Timofeyev. Everything has just clicked perfectly so far.
It certainly has. I mean, and now the only issue when you look at this, and I look at this roster, and I say this is a roster that could make a run at a championship. 100%, I believe that. But that being said, I mean, we were joking about it beforehand, and we'll get to the scratches in just a second. But you look at Mentor's roster. There's not those two guys up at the top, the Mafuz, the Juric, to take off that payroll. They're able to bring 26 guys on a roster. The Enforcers, 18 is a push for them right now because of the financial side of the cap, and that's what you heard about earlier. Excuse me, easy for me to say. You heard about it earlier this week. The NHL general managers meeting broke up, and they said, "Hey, we're adding to the cap. You're going to make some more money." But that being said, I mean, you see the ins and outs of trying to work within that cap when you look at the Federal League here.
It's definitely tough, and you mentioned Metroport's roster. We're going to go through the scratches. There's a lot of them, and there's not, like you said, there's not that one guy that really stands out of having a ton of points. Declan Conway is the only real guy with 52 points, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's got to be on that list that we mentioned there.
He certainly is, and he's been out since February 15th. That, of course, hurts Mentor quite a bit. That being said, there's a lot of young guys here. As you look down the list, 0 games played, 2 games played. I mean, these are guys who are hungry to prove themselves and are looking to prove that they deserve a professional spot. And to be perfectly honest, they're coming in at a good time because these guys are in a playoff spot. They've got an 11-point lead on Delaware, and they walk out of here with 3 points. That would put them in a pretty good position going forward.
It would, but I mean, they've lost 11 straight. Of their active leading scorers, their leading scorer right now has 11 points. I mean, that just tells you the state of his team right now. And again, with Delaware's won 3 straight games.
They have.
They're not out of it at all. And we saw how tough Delaware is to play against earlier this year. Again, Mentor's just kind of starting to fall off the face of the earth right now, and they need to start picking up wins.
And they do, but they've got some goaltending back there. I mean, Kent Nosbaum, I watched play back in training camp. He was with the Enforcers. He also played last week against Danville, and he faced 68 shots and stopped 58 of them. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of goals to give up. When you have 11 players in front of you, that's all Mentor had last week in Danville.
But, I mean, facing almost 70 shots.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. That's 2 or 3 games right there.
100%, George. So, I mean, you look at that, and there's talent on this Mentor lineup. There certainly is. And they're going to be an interesting team to watch down the stretch. And, I mean, you don't want to put in too much of a perspective on the opposing side, but I hope Mentor makes the playoffs. They came in with the Enforcers last year. They've gone through their struggles 100%, but they deserve a spot. They deserve a shot. And, I mean, obviously, the top of the East Division doesn't mind seeing either Delaware or Mentor, but at the same time, I think either one of those, underestimated, could come away with some big victories in the postseason.
Absolutely. Again, we said how tough Delaware was when they came in here, and Mentor, again, there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of guys with a chip on their shoulder, a lot of guys looking to break out in this league. When I look at the roster, really the only guy that stands out for me is Dominic Horvath.
And he played here. He had his time here, but he also is now getting a chance to play more. Mm-hmm. He's getting an opportunity to show what he's got, and they put an A on him just the other day.
I mean, or else you're putting on a guy that hasn't played a game in the whole league. That's how short they are.
Well, that being said, we'll take a look at tonight's lineup scratches brought to you by Arnett Health, the official healthcare provider of your Elmira Enforcers. Arnett Health, come to expect the best. And, George, why don't you walk us through that Enforcers scratches?
Well, pretty easy ones, or not easy ones, but quick ones. Brendan Hussey is out, and then Austin Washcrook is out.
The only other scratch for the Enforcers, of course, JT Walters finishing off his 4-game suspension as he was going to be out this weekend regardless, but we will mention JT, and we'll be looking forward to getting him back next week as Watertown comes to town. So on the other side, the Mentor Icebreakers, I'll take this one.
Take a deep breath here.
Right, well, it's kind of like the intermission activity we got in the second one, George. Jacob Mullen, freshly acquired from Carolina, is scratched. Ty Rickaboe, Nicholas Verboski, Billy Rapone, Richard Pinkowski, Tim Perks, Josh Newberg, Ramil Talipov, and Declan Conway, as previously mentioned, all scratched here tonight for the Menor Icebreakers. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't go right into tonight's goaltender matchup, brought to you courtesy of the Elmira Enforcers Pro Shop, conveniently located inside the record. Get your sticks, tape, skate sharpened, and all the newest and top-of-the-line equipment for your skater or goaltender right here at the First Arena. And, well, kind of exciting, and we'll see how the fans react to this. But, George, who's in net for the Enforcers?
I would believe that would be number 1, Mighty Joe Young.
Mighty Joe Young in the numbers, 10-1, 241 goals against, 932 save percentage, and the only shutout on the Enforcers record this year. And, of course, that did come back in Menor against these very same Icebreakers. On the other side, it's going to be Kent Nosbaum. I talked about him a little bit ago. He was part of the Enforcers training camp. He is 0-2, 643 goals against, and 878 save percentage. But, again, he has come in for this Menor team during a time when they literally field. I don't know how to explain this. I feel like the guy for the fan of the Maple Leafs there that was, they lost to their own goalie. But they lost a game in which they dressed 11 players.
Right.
I'm sorry, 60 minutes of action. And I'm aware Ahmed Mahfouz plays a lot of ice time. I'm aware Tyler Jurich plays a lot of ice time. But to have 3 lines and rotate and play a lot of ice time is a lot different than having 11 players and saying, all right, well, we won't call line changes tonight. Go.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel bad for a team having to go through that, but you also look at that and you're like, they played a 60-minute game with 11 players.
A true 60-minute game.
A true 60-minute game. I mean, that's you can't help but be impressed by that. Menor has guts, they have grit, and they are going to be a tough team to play against down this stretch.
They are. Again, a lot of new guys, a lot of guys looking to prove themselves in the league. I mean, yes, they're fighting to keep that playoff spot, but they're also playing for themselves and their future. And they're not just playing for this team, they're playing for the coaches and the front offices that will be watching them, over the summer and going into next season. And
for certain, I mean, we talked about it all year, George, that this league is built in a way that really most of these guys are not going to be back next year. You're going to have a new team, so a lot to prove at the end of any season.
Definitely a lot. There's a lot of, we talked about the guys that came back for the Enforcers from last year, but a lot of guys play on different teams. A lot of the guys practice and work out with each other, so everyone kind of knows each other, it seems like, in this league. But, yeah, a bunch of guys that are going to be looking for jobs next year, and this is their tryout.
Certainly is. Well, we'll head down to Coach's Corner, talk with head coach Brent Clark, and we'll be back here on the Mixes.com pregame show. Down here for another edition of Coach's Corner with head coach Brent Clark. Coach Clark, this is getting to be in kind of the odd time of the year. You guys still pushing for first place, but playing a bunch of teams that should be beatable. Is there some extra pressure on that type of a game?
Yeah, you don't want to take any team lightly. These guys are hungry to win hockey games here at the end of the season as well. They're fighting to stay in the playoffs too. So, yeah, no, we just got to go out there and with the mindset of you've got to win every hockey game and just do what we've been doing to be successful here. So.
Now, you guys found success a couple weeks back there in Menor. Took both games of the weekend. Obviously, some controversy happened that weekend with their coach being fired, but now they've got a new team. They've reassembled, and how do you prepare for a team like that? It's harder without video, I would imagine.
Yeah, just after the first period, I'll reevaluate things, but we'll just go with just doing our thing, and then they can adapt to our play. And if we notice something on the bench, we'll switch it up for the second period.
They have not played here before, they being Mentor. Obviously, you guys have the advantage of playing quite a number of games in a row as you're now playing the middle part of this 10-game homestand. Do you guys feel like you're kind of coming around now more at home? I know the home stretch of the first part of the year was a difficult time for you guys.
It's great. Last leading up here is 10 games at home. I mean, there's no better place to play than Elmira. So, I mean, we love being here and being back on our ice in front of our fans.
These Thursday night games, I'm just curious, obviously there's been a lot of them. You've still got 2 more to go after this one. Does the Thursday night kind of impair you at all, especially with a short practice week and that kind of environment?
You basically build up your practice strategy leading up the week before. You have a short week, so you can do, keep things light and get through Monday through Wednesday there, We had a lot of 3-3s recently, and we have a 4-4 coming up, so it's actually kind of nice to be able to give the guys Saturday and Sunday off to recover for the following week.
just today, the announcement came down, Hudson Michaelis, Rookie of the Month. This is the second straight month you've had an award winner, obviously, Ahmed Mahfouz and Troy Passingham in January, now Hudson Michaelis in February. When you look at this roster, obviously it's an accomplished roster. How do you feel, A, going into playoffs, and B, as a scout yourself, someone who's put this team together, how does that feel coming into this part of the year?
It feels great. I mean, when you first, you sign people you've never seen, and sight unseen, just based on your scouting reports, and you get them in here, and they slowly start to build, and finally get them where the potential where you thought they were going to be when you brought them in, and now that we got all cylinders firing, I think we got a pretty good squad here leading into the playoffs, and it's happy to see those guys pass and Foos get the honors last week, and now young rookie like Mitch, Hudson Michaelis there, sorry. I think, in my opinion, he should be rookie of the year. So.
Well, you never know. One last question before I let you go. Obviously, Joe Young had a lot of success against Menor. Troy Passingham's been the stalwart on this team. How do you even it out going down the stretch, especially knowing what the playoff run could entail?
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 good goaltenders here, and at the start of the year we had 4 good goaltenders, and it just worked itself out. A couple guys got called up, and they're having successful above, and our guys are successful here right now, and we got a pretty good tandem. So I mean, we can't be any happier with our goaltending, and it's going to go game for game here, and keep these guys fresh and ready to go for playoffs.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to it. We'll be back here on the. And we are back here on Mixler.com. Kind of an abrupt end there, so I apologize for that. But we just talked about it. Hot player to watch, no doubt. Rookie of the Month, Hudson Michaelis. He's been, well, impressive would be a word. 13 points in his last 7 games, 2 big goals against the Dashers last Friday night a week ago. Helped give Elmira the win. Complete player both offensively, defensively. Michaelis provides security in the faceoff circle as well as an ever-growing role on the team. Hard to deny, George.
No, absolutely. I mean, when you looked at what Stepan Timofeyev did last year when he won Rookie of the Year and 100%. How impactful he was for this team and how much we talked about him, again, I've said this, it feels like we don't talk about Hudson Michaelis enough as much as we did Stepan Timofeyev last year when they were doing pretty similar things on the year in 43 games, 26 goals, 31 assists, 57 points. I mean, averaging more than a point a game, he's doing fantastic.
You'll take that any day of the week. But he's also doing it responsibly. 19 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, that Stepan a little different in that aspect. But, I mean, you look at that. He's doing it responsibly. He's winning faceoffs. He's doing everything right. So, I mean, that's what you like to see out of a kid, especially in his rookie year. And I know people are going to say, yeah, he played a year in Europe. And so, I mean, playing in Ostrins, he got some I don't want to call it, experience professionally, but it does shape your game a little differently when you go across the water.
Absolutely. And again, you say all those things, the offensive skill, how smart he plays, the lack of penalties, the face-offs. Again, just a complete all-around player.
Yep. Well, the officiating crew has come out. The Mentor Icebreakers have made their way out. And for those of you who don't recall, we go dark here at First Arena, and it's always a fun time, but you'll get to listen to the dulcet tones of myself and my good friend George Stockberger. Yeah. What was that, George?
I believe the programs are still in the lobby because no one's buying them.
Well, what can you do, George? But that being said,
we have 2 countdown clocks up there.
We do.
That's interesting.
This is new.
I know.
They're trying out some new graphic stuff here tonight.
I see that, but you have one countdown right on top of the other one.
They do. I think one's for the vision impaired, as I'm watching the
very
the largest
big and very
countdown.
Bright.
Yes.
Very bright.
And Happy New Year! I mean,
yeah.
What? As now we'll get the typical pump-up video, I believe, George.
Yes.
Always fun. As nothing quite like it in the league. You don't see this type of excitement. And I've traveled all around this league. There's only one spot I haven't been quite yet, George, and that's down in Delaware, where we.
Oh, you're going there soon.
Going there in a couple of weeks, that's for sure. That was a beauty there, 5-hole goal. And again, the Enforcers have, we talked about, they've had their struggles here at home, but for whatever reason, 10-game homestands coming at the right time. There was one of those beauties from Hudson Michaelis. And here's the Cameron Yarwood celebration. There's nothing quite like that.
No.
And right back out to Andrew Harrison. 6 goals in his last 6 games.
That's another guy I feel like we don't talk enough about.
Harrison, again, a veteran player too, not a out of nowhere type guy. Somebody who's been doing it for a number of years already, and he is returning and lighting it up. Brent Clark talked about it in Coach's Corner. He had some injuries. He's coming back from that, and you know he's found his game at the right time. And the Enforcers they'll take it all day long.
Yeah.
As I believe we're wrapped up the pregame hype
Got
video.
One of those right in my eye.
Right in the
the big green lights that are spinning everywhere.
And they are quite the light show. Make sure
Yeah,
you come on down to First Arena and check it out before the season comes to an end. And of course, don't forget the playoffs are on the horizon, George, as getting excited and ready for a championship chase.
I'm sure playoff packages are available too.
They are $54 they start at. Amazing. Just $54 on the playoff package. As now they're getting ready to introduce the Elmira Enforcers. And when it gets a little closer to the end, we are going to turn it over to the voice in the sky, Steve Ovens, as he will have some interesting factoids to give away. Still no stick for Captain K9, George.
Nope. Must have lost it.
As there's Mark Essery, the former Mentor Icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Gino Mini, the next man out of the tunnel. There's Kyler Matthews, fresh out of his college days. Stepan Timofeyev makes his way out, and the crowd here in Elmira is still in love with him.
It's hard to not be in love with him the way he played last year and the way he came back, and just another great bolt of energy for his team.
Certainly is, as there's Dmitro Babenko. Tyler Jurich makes his way out. Fans loving Jurich, just still getting, as here's another member of the Elmira College team. Hudson Michaelis, the Rookie of the Month. And the roster rolling continues. Here's Spencer Carter, who had a goal and an assist in his first professional game. Kyle Stevens making his way out. Here's Cameron Yarwood. Marko Novosel, the Croatian sensation himself, back here again at First Arena. Here's Brandon Tucker. Glenn Patterson, now the goaltenders, and then here comes the starter.
And starting in goal tonight for your Enforcers, number 1, Mighty Joe Young. And last but certainly not least, folks, give it up for number 19, your captain, Ahmed Mahfouz.
As there is the light show, 400 games played tonight for the captain, Ahmed Mahfouz. Congratulations to the captain as he will take an extra bow. And with that, we'll step aside. It's time for the national anthem, and then it's time for puck drop. We'll be back here on Mixlr.com.
Enforcers are at home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Down here for another edition of Coach's Corner with head coach Brent Clark. Coach Clark, this is getting to be in kind of the odd time of the year. You guys still pushing for first place, but playing a bunch of teams that should be beatable. Is there some extra pressure on that?
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PUCK.
Hello, this is Ahmed Mahfouz, captain of your Elmira Enforcers. If you're looking for something to do when the Enforcers are on the road, come on down to the rec rink and take part in the Rock and Skate. It's a great night out with friends, family, and other great Enforcers fans. At just $5 for admission and $5 for skate rental, it's a real power play every Friday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Go Enforcers, go.
This is Glenn Patterson with the Elmira Enforcers. Did you know that you can celebrate your birthday here at First Arena with the Elmira Enforcers? Birthdays should be a memorable event, and with the Enforcers, you'll never forget it. Call today for more details at 607-734-7825. Go Enforcers, go.
All right, well, that being said, it's time to get going here, George, as it's time for the opening face-off. Brought to you by Rob Sweet State Farm Agency on Market Street in downtown Corning. We're coming to home, auto, and life for a sweet hat trick at sweetrob.com. All right, George, Enforcers, key to the game here. Let's talk about it. Got to get off to a quick start.
Got to get off to a quick start. We talked about how successful the Enforcers have been when they get those early goals, when they lead after the second period. So a quick start, and it'll be interesting to see how Joe Young comes out. Again, he's played well this year. He's sat the last couple of games in place of Troy Passingham. So we'll see how mighty Joe Young looks out there.
Doesn't hurt to get a couple of games off.
Nope.
He played 5 in a row before being given those days off. So we'll see if he can muster up the strength to pick up where he left off against these Menor Icebreakers. Looks like it's going to be Crawford out there. I saw Steele and Horvath on the backside. So on the front side, it's Crawford out there alongside Stuart Dan, and on the far side of the ice, Tyler Humard. Okay.
We'll go with that until someone tells us.
Well, there we go. We'll wait for the correction as Rookie of the Month for February, Hudson Michaelis out there. Looks like he's going to get things started alongside his line mates, Tyler Jurich, Mark Essery. On the backside, Gino Mini and Glenn Patterson. That has been a pretty amazing combination, I must admit. Gino Mini and Glenn Patterson. For some reason, that combination really seems to sync up and play well, and they don't spend a heck of a lot of time in their defensive zone there, George.
No, you got a lot of size over there, especially with Glenn Patterson. Glenn Patterson has just done an outstanding job ever since coming over last season.
Well, now we'll see what Mark Essery can do against his former team. He did have his first goal as an Enforcer back in Menor, actually, and they started the Shark Chomp, did Kyle Stevens and the rest of his line back there in Menor, Ohio. As we appear to be ready to go. Hudson Michaelis coming in. He'll face off against Don. Don trying to push the puck through. He will win it back, and now it goes back to Dominic Horvath, the one-time Elmira Enforcer, takes it back behind the net. Horvath wrapping it around, trying to move it out of the zone, will get it out as it's thrown across. Crawford tips it where it's picked up by Patterson. Right back off the boards for Mark Essery. Essery taking it into the zone, rather unchallenged there. He waits, fires it towards the net. Nussbaum turns it aside, but Michaelis picks it up. Michaelis shoved down as he cuts towards the center, but it's taken off of his stick, slapped right back through, and here comes the captain, Stuart Don. Don into the zone, firing it towards Joe Young. That one goes just wide, and Gino Mini's going to pick it up. Throwing it ahead, right back to center ice where it'll be played out, picked up by Austin Weber. Moved back and all the way back up towards Don. It'll be played off by Glenn Patterson in his own zone. Patterson straight up to Mark Essery. Essery turning, takes his time, passes up to Hudson Michaelis. Michaelis over the red line, dumps it into the zone, and now he will chase. He's the first one to the puck. Michaelis taking it back behind the net now, wrapping towards the near side boards. Tries the drop off, but it's picked off immediately there and thrown back out of the zone. Back the other way. Here comes Austin Weber throwing it ahead. It goes through the legs of Glenn Patterson. Patterson still manages to keep possession. Looks up the ice, flips it off the boards. Essery trying to move it out. Michaelis does, gets it up to Tyler Jurich. Jurich trying to drag it through and can't. Now it's moved into the zone, but the Enforcers need a line change. So men are trying to hurry it up the ice and catch the Enforcers in that change. Fires it off the defense and again trying to push it back through. It's moved back, a firing shot, broken up by Cameron Yarwood. Sent in off of Kyle Stevens, who wraps it around the boards to the far side. Tried to move it up towards Mafoose, but couldn't get it to him. It's broken up by Krivo Shapkin. He moved it down low again, and the puck is left back there for Kyle Stevens. Stevens looks up the boards, tries to feed Timofeyev, but it's just ahead of him as Horvath will dump it back in. Horvath takes a ride into the boards for his trouble. He and Timofeyev hadn't met while Horvath played here, so that was a good introduction. Puck is moved off through a stick. Picking it off there is Kyler Matthews. Matthews takes it back below his goal line and wraps it up the far side boards for Kyle Stevens. That one flips up and into the bench and just narrowly avoids the training staff.
You kind of need them.
A little bit. 2 minutes, 2 seconds played. Only one shot, that one going towards the Elmira Enforcers. And did I miss it? Not registering in my mind.
No.
So, all right, well.
We'll take it. Rather it go in, but
for sure. As Stevens lines up for the draw, he pushes that one back. It'll be moved ahead here by Spencer Carter, feeding Timofeyev. Timofeyev with a drop pass there. I think he was looking for Carter. As big hit down there by Timofeyev. Puck is moved back through, and a Mentor Icebreaker is down on the ground. And that will take a second as the medical staff will come off the bench. I believe the player down is Krivo Shapkin.
And he took a really clean, really nice hit from Stefan Timofeyev right against the boards over there. So yeah, hopefully he's all right, and the training staff attends to him.
He did not move. As you can see clearly, training staff was quickly over there. There's a training staff member from each side, actually. The Enforcers, of course, always have a trainer on standby, and Menor brought one of their own as well. So we'll see what happens here as the head coach, Ragone, moving his way over to the end of the bench. I believe he's trying to call over the officiating crew as Krivo Shapkin is up, and he is being helped, still slouched over. Is he going to come right off the ice?
He's heading that way.
He is headed towards the visitors' exit. Still appears a little unsteady on his feet. Has a teammate right by him. So face-off looks like it's going to come just in front of the Icebreakers bench. Krivo Shapkin will be helped towards the exit tunnel. And you certainly hope he's all right. They're telling that neither side of the medical staff ran off after him, so I don't think it's anything too serious. But of course, the first arena does have a medical staff on site as well. So again, puck ready to be dropped, put down and moved back along as Marco Novosel dumps it in. Goes right by the side of the net and is pushed into the corner, as that was a quick shot there from Novosel. Puck moved back down again as Andrew Pucci moved it along. Back up to Novosel, deflected wide and off to the side. Firing it off was Harrison. He couldn't get it on net, as Menor will pick it back up behind their net. Moving it back along, Joe Molfetta, wearing Mark Essery's old number for the Icebreakers. Sent back by Novosel, passed across to Spencer Carter, right back over to Novosel. Novosel fires it ahead, moved in, Pucci couldn't handle it, and Pucci appears to have a cheering section up there in 105. Puck is moved back to Carter. Carter passes across, was looking for Harrison. I think Harrison deflected it as they wave off the icing. Puck will be wrapped back up these near side boards, bounces around, picked off there by Pucci. Pucci turning, looking, trying to find a lane, passes it through, right in front, deflected, and Gino Mini couldn't get it to go. Right back behind the net is Andrew Harrison digging for it. He'll have that one taken away and sent back through. Here comes Isaiah Crawford. Crawford over the blue line, in all alone, fired, saved by mighty Joe Young. Puck is moved back down as Gino Mini throws it up the boards. Pucci on the chase, trying to get there. Puck is knocked back towards Joe Young and played off by Gino Mini. Gino Mini behind the safety of his own net. 3.5 gone by here in the first period, and not a ton of offensive pressure going yet. This one deflected up, and here comes Brandon Tucker. Tucker into the zone, tries to throw it towards the front, but nobody there as Mark Steele goes back to play. Rolls it up the boards, and again it'll be played out, this time by Humard. Humard into the offensive zone, trying to cut past Patterson. He can as Gino Mini will pick it off. Mini up the boards again, finds Tyler Jurich. Jurich keeps possession along the far side boards. Flitters it back behind for Patterson, right back up for Babenko. Babenko drop pass there for Hudson Michaelis. Michaelis on his horse, has that puck poked, checked away. And now Menor trying to move it out. Picked off there by Jurich. Jurich feeds it back. Here comes Babenko. Right back across looking for Michaelis, but just off the passing lane there. Move back down low for Babenko. Babenko turning it back around. Feeding for Jurich. Knocked back down by Babenko with a huge hit. Moved out towards the front. Yarwood dancing around in front. Sent off to the side now. Looking across. Looking for Jurich. Back to Patterson. Patterson waiting. Off the boards. Back down low. He's got Jurich behind the net. Jurich picks it up, throws it out towards the front, couldn't get it to Babenko. It'll be sent back to the blue line. Still trying to move it along is Michaelis. He's battling, kicked ahead. Babenko comes in. Babenko feeds it all the way across, and Patterson was going for a line change, so Menor will move it out easily. Picked off by Yarwood. Turn around for Michaelis. Michaelis again turning it, sends back to Kyler Matthews. Matthews back in his own zone now. Fires it out towards center ice, waiting for the Enforcers to clear. Now they finally get everybody off and everybody back on. No too many men call there. Shot fired. Joe Young with a save as the Enforcers got away with one there.
That was pretty close. I mean, a bunch of guys were getting off the ice and the puck kind of Got tangled in their feet when they were getting out of there.
Certainly did. Smart play there, though, by the player just freshly off the bench not to touch the puck. That, of course, is always a concern, as you got to make sure that the head outweighs the initial gut reaction. Kyle Stevens wins a draw, right back to Kyler Matthews. Matthews back behind his net, takes a long look up the ice. Matthews pointing towards himself there, as I believe Mafus was looking for a pass. Matthews steps out, sends it back towards center ice, picked off there. Timofeyev throws it in and tried to feed Kyle Stevens. Now Stevens on the chase again, going back for it, moved ahead. Timofeyev with the pickoff, right back in front. Mafus wrapping it around, still trying to find a lane. Mafus along the near side board, sends down low for Timofeyev. Timofeyev back behind the Menor net, trying to throw it out in front, broken up there and sent across again as Humard passes it up. Trying to find Crawford, but couldn't get it to him. Puck will now be moved across, and right back again. Stuart Daunt moves it back into his own zone. Menor certainly playing an interesting style here. Not a lot of offensive zone pressure, but they do have 3 shots already. Matthews sends it back up the far side boards for Mafus. Mafus gets it back to center ice, where it's chopped back in immediately, and the Enforcers will get a free pass for a second. Going back to play will be Yarwood behind his own net. We're almost 6.5 gone here in the first period. And again, I still say not a ton of offensive zone pressure. Pushed ahead as Mafus now breaks in. Mafus looking, he's got Timofeyev cutting for the front, and he couldn't get his stick on it. Puck will be tipped ahead, a penalty upcoming. Pushed back through. Stevens trying to do it as now that's touched by Menor. And there's a penalty coming up. It's going to go against the Icebreakers, and I think it's going to go against Josh Lemke.
Yeah, him and Timofeyev kind of ran into each other in front of the net, and I guess a little bit too much for the officials.
So we go to the power play. It's a Labella power play, reminding you we are powered
by Partnership. The Enforcers power play at 22% on the year and 82% on the penalty kill for the Icebreakers.
And the Icebreakers were successful against the Enforcers back in Menor, so we'll have to see if Elmira can dial something up here. So Mafus ready to take the draw. Puck is pushed to the sideboards. Jurich couldn't handle. Right back to Timofeyev. Timofeyev fires off the leg of Mafus. Bounced off there by Jurich, who took a weird angle shot, and is now Jurich will pick up. Jurich taking his time. He's got Timofeyev top of the circle. Back towards Tyler Jurich. Jurich across. Yarwood winds, fires, and it goes just wide. Timofeyev trying to hustle, but he couldn't get there in time. As now Menor will make a change. Very quick change on the shorthanded time here, as going back for it is Glenn Patterson. Already 30 seconds gone, George.
Yeah, they got a good first effort there at least. Hopefully get 1 or 2 more.
Moved up to Patterson. Patterson through to Mafus. Mafus into the zone. Trying to cut by. Takes it along the near side board. Still keeps possession. Looking towards the front. Deflected and couldn't bury it. Tyler Jurich with a beauty of an opportunity. Cameron Yarwood going to keep the zone here and can't for too long, as Crawford able to knock it back down. Right back towards the zone was Mafus as he was pressured. Crawford got his stick on it. So again, excellent defensive play here by the Mentor Icebreakers, as this one's sent all the way down with a heck of a shot there. Menor again makes a quick change, and once again, back to get it. The Enforcers starting from their own end. Kyler Matthews moving it out. Gets in front of the captain, Ahmed Mafus, still cutting towards the front. Matthews still has possession, trying to deke through the legs of the Icebreakers defense. Thrown around and all the way up. Here comes the Icebreakers back the other way. Henry Berger. Berger into the zone, looking, firing shot, saved by Joe Young and sent just wide on the rebound. Great play by the goaltender, mighty Joe Young, as he had to come up big not once but twice there, George.
It was an outstanding play there. A little surprising that Kyler Matthews brought the puck all the way up and no defenseman sitting back there for the Enforcers.
As here comes Ahmed Mafus, all by his lonesome, in towards the slot, drop pass. Stevens fired, glove save, moved back along, trying to chop it down, but it's moved out again by Stuart Daunt. And now Joe Young have to play. That'll do it for the power play. The Enforcers go 0 for 1. So not the effort they wanted on the man advantage there, George, as Kyle Stevens tips that one in. It's played back. No, not played by Nussbaum. I thought he made the commitment to play that one, so it would have waved it off. As back onto the ice, here comes Gleb Krivo-Shapkin. So glad to see him back out here on the ice. He goes back to the Menor bench. And here we are, down to the left-hand side of Joe Young. Face off one back. Kyler Matthews trying to move it back along. Sends it behind the net. Played up and ahead as this one bounces through center ice and continues to go down. It'll be played back there once again by Molfetta. Molfetta taking a long look up the ice. Waiting. Pucci, the lone man deep, pressuring for the Enforcers. As back out the other way, trying to move it with Steele. He does get it ahead. Moved back in here by Weber. Throws it over and into the netting. That one went well above mighty Joe Young.
Him and you mentioned Andrew Pucci a couple times. New guy. We haven't gotten too much on him yet.
Not a ton. He is from Elmira College. He's had a chance to play there, so he does know this area fairly well, but he's still finishing off his degree there as well. As here's Pucci down low. Harrison trying to get to the bench.
Taking his sweet time.
As Pucci pushes it through. Puck is chopped back. Spencer Carter, the former teammate of Pucci back at Elmira College, sends it back down low, and it's covered up by Joe Young.
How great is it for the Enforcers to have a program like Elmira College hockey as kind of a feeder system? We've already seen a couple local guys make a big impact last year and already this year.
100%. As you get the opportunity to watch those guys play during their college years, and then when they finish, obviously, they're ready to go pro.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity for them as well. As the puck is pushed back down, Menor takes possession. Thrown back out towards the front. Firing goes just wide. As a beauty of an opportunity there for Henry Berger, who did make the Enforcers pay back out in Menor. Looking again. Trying to find a lane. Broken up, and here comes Kyle Stevens off the boards. Flipping ahead, looking for Timofeyev. Couldn't get it to him. Now it's moved ahead, and here comes Mafus and Timofeyev. Mafus across. Timofeyev moves it over for Stevens. Stevens turns, fires, and Timofeyev couldn't tip it home. Had a wide open net, just didn't see the puck come where it landed through the other side of the crease there. Menor will reset right back out towards center ice, and that one is tipped and all the way down. Nobody knew where that one was for a second. Spencer Carter turning around behind his net. Carter taking his time, looks up the ice, he finds Marco Novosel. Novosel off the boards, he finds Timofeyev. Timofeyev into the open zone, working his way through, fires, and that one's shoved aside. Going back for it now is Stevens, wrapped around the boards. Back there for Mafus. Mafus with it. He's got Timofeyev behind the net. Timofeyev now trying to cycle out. Finds Mafus. Fires, and a kick save there by Nussbaum. Minnie wraps it down low. Back again. Going back to play is Daunt. Daunt trying to wrap it around, but it's picked off again. And moved back up to Daunt along the near side boards. Pushed back down low and still managing to move it out. Here's Berger. He dropped it, and that's offsides as the official had that one quickly. That'll take us to the media timeout. 0-0, 4 shots apiece. And interesting first half. We'll see what happens when we come back here on Mixler.com.
The Elmira Enforcers are at home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena.
All right, and with that, we are back here live. And George, 10 minutes, 20 seconds gone. 0-0 tie. We talked about the importance of getting off to a strong start for Elmira.
Yeah, we talked during the break there. It's been a good pace in terms of the game continuing to play. Not a lot of stoppage, but not a ton of action. We talked about only 8 shots between these two teams. Elmira missing the power play opportunity. But, I mean, for the most part, Elmira's had the most offensive pressures, so by far.
Certainly have, as that face-off one back, and Gino Mini taking back behind the net. Gino Mini drops there for Hudson Michaelis. Here comes the Rookie of the Month, making his way out through the neutral zone, cutting across, still keeping possession. Hudson Michaelis takes it through his legs, still back behind the net, and still looking for a lane. Right back in front. He was trying to hit Tyler Jurich. Couldn't quite get it to him. Now Mark Essery picks up. Essery dumping it back along for Jurich. Jurich trying to get it out towards the front. He had Michaelis cutting. Jurich takes it himself. Now waits, fires off a glove. Back to Jurich. Back to the point. Gino Mini winds, fires. Kick save by Nussbaum. Moved down low by Patterson. This is a little more of the pace you were expecting, eh, George?
Absolutely. That was a great point-blank shot that the Enforcers would love to have back.
As Essery turns his body, played off there by Jurich. Jurich sends over for Michaelis. Michaelis looking, feeds off there to Gino Mini, who can't get it to settle down. It comes back out of the zone. Gino Mini turning, looking up ice. Got some options, decides to hit Essery. Essery now has possession, feeds it along. He was looking for Jurich, but Jurich had overskated. He's going to the bench. He looks exhausted as that one's dumped back in. Andrew Harrison fresh over the boards now. Taking a long look is Gino Mini. He's got some targets on the near side. Goes that way up to Patterson, right back to Gino Mini. Isaiah Crawford, certainly some speed out there as he continues to be a presence for the Mentor Icebreakers. As Patterson fires it through. Here comes Andrew Harrison cutting to the front, looking, firing. He couldn't get it to go. Back again to Pucci. Sends to the point for Patterson. Patterson back down low. Was trying to hit Harrison back behind the net as now Pucci picks it up. Pucci waiting. Harrison finally clears. Here comes Pucci. Pucci cutting through. Looking towards the front. Right back out in front. He was trying to hit Tucker and couldn't get it to him. As now again, men are trying to set it up in their own zone. Dump back behind to the one-time enforcer, Dom Horvath. Flipped ahead and out of the zone. Knocked down there by Yarwood. Yarwood flips it ahead to Tucker. Tucker dumping it deep. Right in on Nussbaum. It goes by the side of him. And now going back to play it is Diaz. Tried to move it along. Still keeps possession though. Diaz moved it ahead. It's kicked back to center ice. Yarwood plays. Moves aside of a defender. Dumped back in by Tucker. And the enforcers make another line change. Back down low for Horvath. Freshly applied A on that sweater. That's played with a high stick right down in on Joe Young, and that'll be covered up. Quite a play there by Brendan McKenzie with the, yes, it was a high stick, but, you know, the Pioneers are recruiting.
They are. It seems like they're playing a lot of that dump and chase game. I mean, so far it hasn't worked too much for them. We see where they bring it out.
They are trying. Elmira saying it was played with a high stick. You got to bring it out. And Mentor's coach is saying, hey, that puck should be down in the enforcer's zone. It was covered up by their goaltender. But it was because of the high stick, as now that faceoff won by Kyle Stevens. Moved back along. Yarwood with it. Up the boards to Timofeyev. Timofeyev takes a ride, as now Stevens goes and moves it ahead. Stevens overskated, however, and now Mentor going to have a, well, no, Mafuz with a pickoff there of the clearing attempt by Mentor. Steele trying to get there. Steele freshly acquired from the Battle Creek Rumblebees, as this puck will be moved back along again. Played back down low, and picking it up was Austin Weber. Moved back ahead as out the other way. Here comes Nadia. Nadia across the blue line. Drop pass here and again pushed through. Nice play there by Kyler Matthews. Puck is moved back towards Ahmed Mafuz. Picked up, and here comes Stepan Timofeyev. One-on-one with Diaz. Timofeyev gets around Diaz, trying to take it towards the front. He has to circle back now as he comes off the puck, and out the other way comes Berger. Berger passing across. Over to McKenzie. Dumped in, and Joe Young deflects that one up into the netting off his blocker. So Timofeyev still looking to get that little extra punch of energy there, George.
Yeah, he made a great effort. Unfortunately, no one was there with him. Yarwood was trailing him, but kind of got caught up in the shuffle there in center ice.
So again, this line out there now with Spencer Carter on the backside. The lone change that happened in that whistle. Puck is moved ahead back to center ice and flipped back out. Diaz goes back to play for Mentor. Moved back ahead. Carter picks it up. Right back across for Marco Novosel. He flipped it ahead, played down by Kyle Stevens, and it'll be chopped ahead. Going back to get it is Diaz. Diaz turning back behind his net towards the near side boards. Dumped back along, and out the other way comes Mentor. Fed ahead, broken up there by Carter. Pushed ahead and off. A penalty's upcoming to the enforcers now, as Mentor has an opportunity right in front. Jumping on top of it is Joe Young, and I believe Novosel may be the guilty party here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we're getting ready for summer, a little bit of a diving practice. But, yeah, first power play, the Enforcers 84% on the penalty kill. Mentor just 12% on the power play.
Well, Seneca Beverages penalty kills. Seneca Beverages reminding you not to get boxed.
By drinking responsibly.
As now Mentor will go to work. It's interesting to see the power play lineup. Steele Horvath on the backside. Up front, it looks like it's going to be Jakob Wolf. He's digging for it right now as he pushed Yarwood into the boards hard. Back behind once again, it's Isaiah Crawford trying to turn it around. Sends back to the point and trying to move it to Steele. Steele back to Horvath. Horvath looking. Dumps it towards the slot. Played off by Wolf. Again to Crawford and off to the sideboards off the errant pass as Kyle Stevens moves it down. Low man in front of the net was Blake Nadia as Steele goes back to play. Nadia hangs out towards the blue line. He'll receive that pass as he looks to move it back in. Steele and Nadia both crossing that blue line. Puck is dumped back deep as Jakob Wolf moves it around for Crawford. Crawford has some possession issues. It's knocked down and kicked out by the captain as Ahmed Mafuz asking somebody to come over the boards for him. Puck is fed back into the zone. Nadia with it. Nadia looking. Crawford towards the front. Blocked down there. And Joe Young comes up big again. Puck will be flipped 200 feet, and the Enforcers have killed a minute.
I mean, what a play by Ahmed Mafuz. A heads-up play where he loses his stick. He goes off, gets the line change, and is still able to kick the puck out.
As back the other way, here comes the Icebreakers. Berger makes his way into the zone. Berger cutting through, broken up by Mark Essery. Essery dumping it back along. Puck is taken away as Patterson tried to clear but couldn't come up with it. Babenko now moves it out. Berger keeps the zone and dumps it back in. Gino Mini trying to turn. He can't get the shot off there as now Essery harassing his former teammates. Puck is moved ahead. Shoved back out by Babenko, but immediately back on it again is Austin Weber. Weber turns, drop pass there to Diaz. Diaz back behind the net, trying to throw it up the ice. It's banged off the boards, and Babenko is going to take possession. Waits for Essery to get onside, throws it towards the net, and right back to the side of Nussbaum. Diaz with it. Right back up the boards, and again, right back to Gino Mini. Mini looking, he's got Ahmed Mahfouz on the far side. They decide to play catch back there on the blue line. Tipped ahead, and here comes Kyle Stevens. Stevens in the slot, cutting through. Can't get around his defender Diaz. Thrown back towards the front where he was looking for Mahfouz, but Daunt will take possession, and that'll do it for the power play, as now we're back to 5-on-5. George, neither power play looking very powerful here tonight.
Absolutely not. And again, they're just coming in at 12% this year, and you can kind of see why not much chemistry so far with all these new guys coming in.
As Daunt takes a hard ride into the boards. Again, Menor manages to keep possession. Moved ahead. Ahmed Mahfouz can't get it out of the zone. And again, it's picked off, this time by Timofeyev. Timofeyev looking up the ice. Hits Kyle Stevens. Stevens into the offensive zone. Trying to get around his man. Shoved down. Moved back towards the blue line. And out the other way comes Menor. Here comes Daunt. Daunt gets the blue line. Cuts through. He takes a hit from Timofeyev. Shoved into the corner. Timofeyev trying to chase it down. Daunt takes another hit from Timofeyev. Puck is pushed back through. Picked off here by Yarwood. Thrown ahead. And here's Mahfouz. Mahfouz with Timofeyev. Hits Timofeyev. Timofeyev moving in. Top of the circle. Fires. And it's over the top of the net. Bouncing towards the blue line. Picked off and shoved back in. That one will be moved along the near side boards. Pinching is Hudson Michaelis now. Ahmed Mahfouz trying to chase down the puck. Mark Steele with it. Dumps back behind for Dom Horvath. Horvath running to the boards by Michaelis. Michaelis still digging. Puck is pushed back along. Trying to play it. It's kicked out there by Michaelis. Michaelis working towards the front. Takes a long look. Michaelis still keeping possession. Throws it across for Gino Mini. Mini throwing it towards the net. Goes back behind. He was looking for a deflection off Mahfouz. 2.5 to go as out the other way comes Menor. Thrown ahead. Nadia with possession. Poked off of his stick. Glenn Patterson trying to knock it down. Move back to Nadia. Nadia back to the point. He finds Diaz. Diaz winds, fires, deflected off the side of the net as Gino Mini throws it up the boards. Right back towards Diaz. Diaz deflected again, picked off, and here comes Patterson. Patterson moving. 3-on-2 if the Enforcers can hurry. Patterson in the zone looking across to Michaelis. Back in front, and they can't get the shot off as the stick of Harrison was held up. Harrison still looking for a lane. Fires off the glove. Back up the boards. Patterson takes it, dumps it back behind. Tucker couldn't quite get there. Falling down was the Menor defenseman, thrown back to center ice, and this one will continue to go down. Berger took a seat, not sure what happened there, no icing, as Joe Young desperately wanted one. Thrown up for Tucker. Tucker takes a hit from behind, that's going to be a penalty, and now Harrison getting into it with Berger, and now Gino Mini drops the gloves, grabs Berger, and he's ready to go. Berger apparently not as ready. Berger's going to take a penalty for the hit from behind. And Ahmed Mahfouz is going over. Gino Mini was prepared to defend his teammate, that's for sure. And he'll take stick taps. This is going to be 4-on-4 according to what the official just held up his hands. I don't know. George, I don't like the call with Berger taking that run. I mean, I'm waiting to see what they call because Berger should have something elongated. I mean, it was charging. It was a hit from behind. I don't know what the referee saw. He saw the contact. I can't say what he saw from the other side of that, but Berger, he took a good long run.
He did. Mahfouz isn't arguing too much, and it looked like they said it was going to come down right about where the hit was, just down to our right, just outside the Enforcers' defensive zone.
It does look like 4-on-4, 2 minutes apiece.
I don't know about that. I mean, all Mini did, yes, he dropped the gloves, but he was going over to defend his teammate. Meanwhile, Berger just, like you said, but tough ride into the boards, into the guy's back.
Hard to say what the official saw there. He couldn't have seen the whole charge. That's got to be the thought process there. We'll check the score sheet after the period and get you the exact results unless we get the reading here. But Enforcers win the draw. Right back along goes Mahfouz. And he takes a long look up, decides to drop back for Timofeyev. Again, 4-on-4 situations, I always say, should benefit the Enforcers. We'll see. Mahfouz and Yarwood into the zone. Mafus waiting, looking, firing, and another attempt for Mafus, and he can't go. A penalty upcoming. Thrown back here. The Enforcers have an opportunity. Drop pass here for Yarwood. Joe Young heads for the bench. Back, firing, and it's knocked back down again. Nussbaum couldn't control. Mafus has possession. Mafus looking. Right back. Waiting, firing, Jurich. Another stop, and that'll be blown dead with 1:04 to go. It's going to be a 4-on-3 power play, George.
Outstanding. What a job by Jurich. I mean, unfortunately, it took Joe Young a little while to realize it was going to be an extra man that could get out there, but Jurich came flying in, and what a shot he laid onto the goaltender.
Well, Nussbaum's certainly doing his job down there as well. Horvath took the penalty, and the Elmira enforces a 4-on-3 advantage. Yarwood, Jurich, Mafus, and Timofeyev. Not a combination I want to see if I'm an opposing goaltender.
No, there's a lot of power, a lot of skill out there right
Mafus gets it back to Jurich. Jurich back to Yarwood. Yarwood back to Jurich. Jurich top of the circle over to Timofeyev. Timofeyev back to Jurich. Top of the slot. Across to Yarwood. Looking. Back to Jurich. Jurich down low to Timofeyev. Cutting towards the net. Waiting. Shooting. And just narrowly missing it. Great save by Nussbaum. Dumps it off of the linesman. Picked up by Timofeyev. And moving it back in. Timofeyev drops for Jurich. Jurich back across to Yarwood. 33 seconds to go in the period. Right back out. Jurich winds, fires, deflected, and Nussbaum makes the save. Well, this is a lot better looking power play than we just saw, George.
It is, and, well, first of all, what a job by Nussbaum so far. The way the enforcers have been firing on him, they got a little lucky because the linesman kept that puck relatively close and didn't get cleared down. They're talking to him. He's saying he's okay. They're a little shaken up after that one, but what?
Hard not to be. That was a good firing shot from the defense from the Menor Icebreakers.
But again, Nussbaum's done an outstanding job in net so far.
Certainly has, as that one's won back. Timofeyev back to Tyler Jurich. Jurich across to Yarwood. 25 seconds in the period. Down low to Mafus. Mafus back to Yarwood. Back across to Tyler Jurich. Waits wide, fires, goal! Tyler Jurich buries it. Power play goal! And Tyler Jurich, 19.1 seconds to go.
We talked about before when Jurich came on, when they had that extra time, a shot that he has, and he just laid one. He goes bar down over the shoulder on the right-hand side of Nussbaum, and he couldn't do anything to stop that one with just 19.1 seconds left here in the period.
39th of the year.
and think how great he's been on the power play. And, again, that shot is just fantastic.
Certainly is, as now we're back to 4-on-4, so they got to pull Timofeyev off the ice. And Stevens, Mafus, that face-off one back to Dom Horvath. Horvath up the boards, knocked down again by Patterson. Patterson across. He finds his man Kyler Matthews. Matthews trying to move it ahead. Mafus will pick it up. Down to 7 seconds to go. Still a lot of time. We'll see if the Enforcers make one more rush. 4 seconds. Mafus cutting across, waiting towards the slot, turning, firing, and they can't get the shot off. Kyler Matthews has been all around the net so far here tonight, George.
He has. Again, he made a good play earlier. Unfortunately, it led to that breakaway attempt from Mentor that didn't turn into anything, but he's been another guy. He's not going to give you a ton of points, but he gives you great effort.
Certainly does. Well, it's 1-0 Enforcers after 1. We'll be taking a quick break. We will head down for an intermission interview as well. And when we come back, it'll be time for the first intermission. 1-0 Enforcers as we take a break here on Mixler.com.
Our Enforcers are at home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-POC.
Hello, this is Ahmed Mahfouz, captain of your Elmira Enforcers. If you're looking for something to do when the Enforcers are on the road, come on down to the rec rink and take part in the Rock and Skate. It's a great night out with friends, family, and other great Enforcers fans. At just $5 for admission and $5 for skate rental, it's a real power play every Friday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Go Enforcers, go.
Another period of Enforcers action in the books, and I'm glad to be joined down here by the February Rookie of the Month, Hudson Michaelis. Hudson, when did you find out, when did you hear, and how does it feel?
I just found out on the way to the rink. Definitely felt pretty good. The boys were pretty excited for me, so it was a nice feeling.
That was the one award that was not won in January, by the way. Ahmed Mahfouz and Troy Passingham both bringing home January of the Month awards, and you were the lone Enforcer representing there in February. So does that add something a little bit extra, or how does that feel?
It feels good. It doesn't really add too much. You know, it's an honor, but it just feels good. Not too focused on it, just kind of focused on the next game.
Well, speaking of the next game, obviously Mentor rolling into town. A very different crew than when you guys saw them a couple weeks back. You guys have obviously had a short week again of practice, but the Thursdays kind of seem to be getting to be the routine instead of the abnormal. So does that kind of work in your guys' favor, getting to play this much on an odd day?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, but we definitely don't mind it. We love playing on Thursdays. Thursday, Fridays, you know, those are the best weeks we can have, just because we get the weekend off and the boys are excited about that. So it's nice. No pros, no cons. It's just nice overall.
Well, obviously this is the real stretch run of the playoffs here. You guys are in second place, a chance to move into first. Obviously still battling off Watertown, who's not too far behind, so a 7-game winning streak definitely helps that out. But as you guys continue to push, obviously you guys are looking to win games, but also kind of equal that out with the amount of rest, obviously, with a long playoff run on the horizon.
Yeah. No,
I didn't give you too much to work with there. Sorry, Huddy. Well, honest, the question I'm hoping you can answer for me here is how do you guys determine what's necessary going down the stretch? Obviously, the points are important, but also resting up for that playoff run has to be on the back of the mind somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're happy we're winning, and we're definitely focused on winning, but we're also trying to make sure everybody's ready to go. Everybody's, you know, not too injured, taking care of their bodies and things like that. So we're trying to rest up, but we're also, you know, going for the wins, so it's a little hard, but just being a little bit cautious when we can, so that's nice.
Knowing you guys are halfway through this home stretch, obviously 10 games and all at home is kind of a privilege at the end of the season, but obviously there's a lot of wear and tear on the travel from earlier on in the season. So how much does these 10 games here at home have to do with, you know, getting you guys prepped for a playoff push?
It's huge. We like it just saving us from the very huge, yeah. No, but we like it, you know, just playing at home, it's nice because we got all the fans here, you know, the best fans in the league, so it's pretty nice. And
Brendan Hussey looking for a shutout here as you walk by, and
yeah. It's definitely nice, you know, it's just nice being home. We got guys like Hussey just driving us around pretty much all the time since we're back home. He just likes to drive us around. So it's nice having guys who are our taxis and stuff like that, but we're definitely enjoying just being at home.
Well, last question before I let you go. Obviously, you guys got your meeting and everything to get into, so I want to just fire this off quick. Obviously, awards are great. Everybody's always happy to patch on the back for those, but is it more important right now to focus on that playoff run, or are people getting distracted with some of the accolades at this point in the year?
It's definitely more important. Just focus on the playoffs. We're just focused on our team in general, just getting wins and building the best team possible for playoffs. So it's all about playoffs for us and winning the league if we can. So that's what we're focused on.
All right, well, congratulations again, Hudson. Best of luck to you here. Going into the next period, we'll be back here on the Mixer.com Intermission Report. Well, there you have it, the brand new crowned Rookie of the Month, and certainly deserving, George, as Hudson Michaelis continues to show his ability to wheel and deal. And maybe, actually, I'm not sure about his bartering ability, but his ability to do it on the ice is pretty impressive.
I mean, again, we talked about it earlier with the 57 points in, 43 games for him. So, again, averaging more than a point a game. He was making a lot of good plays tonight just by himself, controlling the puck well. Again, just an outstanding season.
It certainly has been, and speaking of outstanding seasons, Tyler Jurich. I mean, you commented on it there. He came in at the end of that that power play. Well, excuse me, at the end of the 4-on-4 as the arm was up from the official. Joe Young a little bit late getting off, but Tyler Jurich not a little bit late as he got right down in the slot, fired one, and Kent Nosbaum certainly has to be happy. I always talk about Troy Passingham being 6'5". Well, Kent Nosbaum, I'm not sure of his exact height, but he's pretty happy for every inch of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, unfortunately, it didn't do enough when Jurich leveled one over his shoulder.
Did not.
But Jurich, I mean, the shot that he has is just, it's scary.
It is.
The way he lays it on, and, you know, I'm glad I'm not sitting there like Nosbaum is having to face it, 10 times a game.
Well, you always hear it when, I mean, you're a Flyers fan. You hear it a lot, too, just as anyone else does, that goaltenders wear more equipment than most. Well, I don't care how much equipment you have on. If Tyler Jurich is winding up, I want more.
I wish we could do, NHL All-Star Weekend may have that hardest shot contest.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see what Jurich
well, maybe we could pull a Pioneer speed gun out. And, we test those pitchers.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Elmira Pioneer season not too far away. As historic Dunn Field getting ready for exciting baseball action. And, George, $99 gets you a season ticket over there.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat it.
You can't.
You really cannot beat it.
Amazing views from every angle in the park. Babe Ruth has played there. Don Zimmer got married there. And, George, we're kicking off this season with a little something special.
Ooh.
Hot stove dinner.
Yeah.
6th annual. Bucky Blanken Dent. as Red Sox fans around the world unite to chant that name. Yep. You can only imagine the stories you're going to have as Bucky Dent comes and regales audiences. I mean, he's had a multi-year career that it spans through championships, all-star games, a managerial career that went on from there. I mean, the stories that a man like that has to have, you want to be in attendance for that one.
I mean, last year it was Bobby Valentine.
That was
certainly entertaining.
Beyond entertaining.
And now you get Bucky Dent. Just fantastic names that get brought in for this annual event.
And, of course, not to mention several Pioneers going in the draft last year. You wonder how many more will go this year. And, of course, you wonder who will take the field for the Elmira Pioneers when they take the field for the first time this season at the end of May. Of course, that will start up about 4 weeks after the Enforcers hopefully finish their season, which they'll be looking to do right here at First Arena. Let's get back into it, George. Only game on the docket here tonight. We talked about the penalties, so we'll let all the fans know. Gino Mini got an unsportsmanlike conduct. Henry Berger took a boarding minor. And again, as I said, it's just one of those penalties that, if the ref didn't see the charge, which, I mean, was evident to me, but that's the issue. You got guys watching the play, trying to take care of it, and the puck's on the other side of the ice. They don't pay attention to what's going on with the one guy's racing down the ice, and it was a pretty severe hit, but it is what it is. So 2 minutes on the board, and Berger will be back in 20 more seconds starting the second period.
Yeah, I mean, we have the benefit. It happened literally right in front of us, to the right of a scorer's bench. It's a tough one. Thankfully, it worked out for the Enforcers for getting that goal from Jurich, leading him to shots 11-6 thanks to that extended power play opportunity. I don't think either team got out to the start that they wanted.
No.
We talked about how the flow of the game has been pretty good, not a lot of stoppage. But, I mean, the offensive opportunities didn't really come until after that break, which we've talked about. The Enforcers typically don't do well after the media timeout.
They don't, although that's been changing a little bit as we continue on through the season, and you wonder how much a veteran presence like Tyler Jurich, Ahmed Mahfouz, Andrew Harrison, those guys contribute to finding that breath down the stretch. And really, we talked about it last game, George, second efforts and things of that nature. Glenn Patterson kind of picking it up after the second, third, the 2/3 point of the season now as we get into playoff time. You wonder, which guys have that extra level and what they're going to do as, CBD advertisement on the, as, now they've got buttons too. So buttons as well. And buttons are always fun. We love the buttons. Those will be making a comeback for the playoffs, I'm sure. Kelvin might make an appearance. He showed up last playoffs.
Yeah.
But Plenty of great buttons will be on sale, and of course we'll be heading up onto that board here shortly here, George,
boy,
I believe.
I forgot about that.
We always do. 90 seconds away, we should be heading up there, but you know, the Enforcers so far have had a season to remember. Again, it got off to a slow start, but the Enforcers finding a way yet again, and they're right back up towards the top of their division. Last year they finished in second in the entire league. Of course, a different environment when you had 6 teams versus 10, but still in an enviable position right now if you're any other team in this league.
They're in a great position. Again, you look, they've won 26 games this year, and again, 17 of those have come in 2020.
They have.
I mean, just the streak that this team has been on, any team in any sport, in any league, would be envious of that.
100%. And Elmira, by the way, finished last year with 28 wins, so that means 2 regulation wins away from that point, and 3 from doing it. And they did it in 56 games last year. Right now, we're at game number 46. They've got a chance to eclipse it well before that mark this season.
Absolutely. The red light is on us now.
It's coming over, so we got about 25 seconds as we're going to end up on the big board again here, George. And we'll see what the introduction is as they bring us in.
Do they remember my name now?
I'm not sure. If they don't, well, you know, I will take care of such a thing.
I'm sure some bloggers would remind them.
Always a good time.
Yep.
And they do, yeah. Fantastic. Well, we talked about it here, George, all throughout this intermission. Hudson Michaelis getting Rookie of the Month. That was huge. Obviously, some strong play there from the Enforcers in the later half of the period after a kind of a wandering start. But Tyler Jurich coming up big again, and he just continues to do it.
He continues to do it. You talk about the effect that he's had on this team since coming over in that trade. The effect that he's had on the power play, especially the shot that he had there was fantastic going over. The shoulder going top shelf. When you look at what he's done this year, that's 81 points now on the season. That's a fantastic stretch that he's had this season. We're talking about the Enforcers winning 7 straight, 9 of their last 10, 12 of their last 13, and 17 of their last 21 games the Enforcers have won.
And that's impressive in and of itself. But not to mention, the Enforcers won 28 games in regulation last season. They have 26 right now, and they did that in 56 games. Right now, 46 games. They have the potential to well eclipse that mark and, of course, set their sights on first place for the playoff berth.
I mean, right now we're talking about they're only 4 points out, so a win today puts them only 1 point behind Danbury. It's close. Again, we talk about how great this homestand has been. The 10 straight games here at home. What that has done for this team to be able to sleep in their own bed, play in their own arena, know the boards, and play in front of great fans. It's been great for this team, and again, you're talking about how close they are to matching what they did last season in terms of the win column. Well,
then you get a guy like Mighty Joe Young gets his opportunity there in net, and he has played spectacularly down the stretch. Didn't get goaltender of the month. We'll debate that later on, but I'll tell you what, he has had a phenomenal February, and he's looking to carry that over here into March. Of course, the last time he faced the Mentor Icebreakers, he put up a rather enviable score. I'm not going to say the number, as we're not going to jinx that, but at the same time, Joe Young has been spectacular in net. If he can continue to play that way, Troy Passingham continues to play that way, the Enforcers are in for a long April.
They absolutely are. I mean, when you're talking about what Joe Young did on that breakaway goal, that was an outstanding play in of itself. And to be 10-1 on the season with that 241 goals against, again, as a backup goaltender and potentially pushing for that starting job, he's done everything they've asked him to do.
Well, he comes out of Union College, which certainly is known for their ability to churn out NHL caliber goaltenders. Yeah. There's a number of guys who have the Union U on their resume that have made the leap to the NHL. And Joe Young, I'm going to put it out there. I don't foresee him having a stall in an ability to push himself deeper into the minor leagues, and possibly, if he continues playing the way he is right now, looking at some time in the SPHL, the ECHL, maybe bordering on the AHL. You never know.
Yeah, I get it. But the plays that he's made this year, as the young coaching staff very slowly goes across the mentor, he's going at his own pace there. But the way that he's played this year, you can't ask for anything more from him.
Certainly can. We'll step aside here one more time. When we come back, it'll be time for Puck Drop here on Mixler.com.
Patterson with the Elmira Enforcers. Did you know that you can celebrate your birthday here at First Arena with the Elmira Enforcers? Birthdays should be a memorable event, and with the Enforcers, you'll never forget it. Call today for more details at 607-734-7825. Go Enforcers, go.
Hi, this is Marian Decker, and at the Decker Agency, we've got over 34 years' experience in helping our clients get the best insurance coverage possible. We're local and we're trusted. We've built our business on the idea that customers should be treated like family. At the Decker Agency, we offer free quotes and consultations. Our clients can build their coverages to best suit their needs and budget. Please stop into our office at 416 East 14th Street in Elmira Heights, or call us at 607-734-1100 to schedule your free consultation today. And like the Marian M. Decker Agency, LLC on Facebook. At the Decker Agency, we help you protect what matters most.
This is JT Walters with your Elmira Enforcers. I love getting out in the community here in Elmira, but I also know it can be hard to find things to do. We at the Enforcers have a great fix for that. With deals for groups of 10 or more, Enforcer games can be a great and affordable time for you and your friends to come out and enjoy downtown Elmira. Go Enforcers, go.
All right, well, that being said, we are back here live on Mixler.com and live on YouTube. Well, it's time for the opening puck drop here, George, and that means it's time to talk about Rob Sweet State Farm Agency on Market Street in downtown Corning, or you can visit them on the web where you can bundle home, auto, and life for a sweet hat trick at sweetrob.com. Here comes Mighty Joe Young and the Enforcers, led out by their captain in his 400th game. He's got it under his belt now. It's official. Period in the books means 400 FPHL games. Ooh. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. We talked about the effect that he's had for this team going the last 2 years and what he's done in the community. Again, you can't ask for anything more from Ahmed Mahfouz.
I mean, you talk about the face of a franchise, and you think about names like Gretzky playing for the, anywhere. Yep. Oilers, the Kings, even so, to a point, the Rangers in the late 90s. But, I mean, then you got guys like Messier. You got Bobby Orr in the Boston Bruins. You got guys like Hasek in the Buffalo Sabres. Ahmed Mahfouz is that to the Elmira Enforcers, 100%. You can talk about skill level, you can talk about all of that, but Ahmed Mahfouz is that to the Elmira Enforcers.
I mean, I'm sure if you said to him, you told him that you put his name and Bobby Orr and Wayne Gretzky in the same sentence, I don't know how he'd feel about that, but again, that's the type of person he is and the type of play that he's put out there. And again, being the face of this franchise, a very young franchise, that's exactly what he's done.
It is, 100%. 20 seconds to go, a 4-on-4 hockey, and you wonder who's going to get off the jump here. As men are down a goal, the Enforcers looking to take control of this game. Ahmed Mahfouz trying to win the draw. He's tied up. He does move the puck back to Glenn Patterson. Patterson off the far side boards to Cameron Yarwood, moves it ahead for Ahmed Mahfouz, kicks it back along for Timofeyev, who can't get loose, and it'll be turned back the other way. Mark Steele dumping it along. Stuart Dent into the zone, looking for the drop pass, couldn't find it. Dent throws it back behind the net where it will be picked up by Timofeyev. Gino Mini is out of the box and headed for the bench, passing across to Glenn Patterson. Patterson up the far side boards where it'll be played eventually by the Icebreakers, thrown back in as Cameron Yarwood goes and plays it back along the near side boards. Yarwood drop pass there. He finds Patterson. Patterson circling in his own zone. Feeds it up, hits off Ahmed Mahfouz, and now Kyle Stevens trying to get there. He can't, as it'll be moved back out to center ice. Played out here by McKenzie, moving it back along for Diaz. Bangs it off the boards towards Stevens. Chop back down and move back to Glenn Patterson. Patterson off the far side boards. Moved it back along where it's picked off quickly by Molfetta. He passes across to the other side of the ice, and Cameron Yarwood will dump it in and around the boards. All the way back. Molfetta goes to play it. Bounces off a weird carom off the boards. Back to Stevens, who tried to throw it in front. He's shaking his hand. He took a quick chop there as that one bounces off Timofeyev, and it'll be moved back out. Great play there by the Icebreakers as Austin Weber moves it in the offensive zone. It'll be turned back aside. Mahfouz plays it off. He's got Timofeyev. Timofeyev trying to dart in. Drops there for Stevens. Stevens still with it to the side. Throws it in front, and Mahfouz taken down. Penalty upcoming as Yarwood tries to move it back behind the net. He finds Kyle Stevens. Stevens trying to move it out in front. Played off. Here's Jurich with it again. Firing it down. Picked off here and finally touched by Molfetta. Penalty upcoming. Mahfouz is still on one knee. Certainly hope the captain's okay.
It's certainly scary. He got hit right next to the net. He didn't necessarily get hit hard, but he kind of went down awkwardly. And He's starting to skate back towards the bench. Looks like he's staying in, though.
He's up and moving around. Glad to see that. Labella power play, reminding you we are powered
by partnership. And good look on the power play last time out.
Well, 4-on-3 is a little different than the 5-on-4. We'll have to see what the 5-on-4 can do here as Mafous waits. Stuart Dant ready to take the draw. Mafous wins the draw back. It's back to Timofeyev at the point. Timofeyev winds, fires, deflected in front, shot it in the back of the net. Glenn Patterson! Great shot by Timofeyev. Glenn Patterson puts in his 9th of the season, George.
A great awareness there by Glenn Patterson, sitting right in front of the net. The shot came in from Timofeyev. I don't think Nussbaum realized where the puck was, and Glenn Patterson looked down. It was right at his feet, and he hammered it home for a big goal to put him up 2-0.
As Patterson replicates the Yarwood Selly, and I love it. As Patterson and Yarwood head off the ice, the Enforcers make their desired changes. Mark Essery, Tyler Jurich, Hudson Michaelis out there with a new defensive unit as Spencer Carter comes out here alongside Marco Novosel. Puck is dropped, moved back to Carter. Carter back across to Novosel, back towards Carter. Carter looks up the ice, fires it through for Mark Essery. That one's chopped along and pushed back in by Menner. Going back to play is Marco Novosel. Peels off towards the near side boards. Right up looking for Tyler Jurich, who kicks it back to center ice, but no further as Mark Steele slams it back in. Joe Young plays it back behind the net. 2 minutes in, 2-0 lead here for the Enforcers in the second period. Passed over here to Hudson Michaelis. Michaelis over the blue line, in onside. That puck flipped up. Michaelis manages to get it right back in front. A shot, and Jurich almost had another one, as that'll be flung out of the zone. Jurich just a little too hard on the pass as Novosel had to come a long way across. This one will be flipped ahead for Jurich. Jurich picks it up, brings it back in the offensive zone. Jurich looking, feeds it back, drops for Essery, fires, and it's blockered down again. Right back towards the defense. Essery still with it. Essery turning, trying to get around his defender. Does, takes it back behind the net. Essery still battling for it. Dumps it back along where it'll be picked up there by Steele. Steele trying to get out of the zone. Stick is lifted, and Enforcers couldn't come up with it. Tyler Jurich with a heck of a play. Now the Enforcers going to go slashing, going to be the call. Essery going to take a seat, and Essery laughing as he heads for the penalty box.
I didn't see where that happened, but okay.
I missed it as well. I thought Jurich might have gotten his stick a little wild, but
Mafous is asking about it, but
well,
okay.
Seneca Beverages penalty kill. Seneca Beverages reminding you not to get boxed
by drinking responsibly. Already 1 for 1 on the penalty kill are the Elmira Enforcers tonight.
See if they can continue to turn it up. As going out, Mafous spending a lot of time on the ice as the special teams units have been tasked with quite a task so far here tonight. Puck pushed across. Dominic Horvath looking. He waits. Horvath drop pass there to Molfetta. Molfetta fires, and Mafous took it. I don't know where he took it, if it was off the leg.
I thought it was off the leg,
but he picks up his stick. He needs to get off for a change as that puck flipped back out towards Kyle Stevens, but Crawford moves it along. Mafous heading back for the bench immediately, breaking into the zone. Horvath fires, deflected away. Horvath gets his own rebound. Trying to kick it along was Yarwood. Getting it up ahead was Timofeyev. Gets it out of the zone. Timofeyev tied up there with Molfetta. Timofeyev trying to get clear. Stevens couldn't push it through. Timofeyev has possession. Waits. Stevens gets onside. Timofeyev cutting around a defender again. Timofeyev still with possession. Fires it back towards Stevens. Fires, and it's kicked aside one more time as the Enforcers penalty kill. Doing a job here, George.
They are, and especially with Ahmed Mafous doing a great job so far.
Puck is pushed back across. Here comes Berger. Berger, top of the circle, fires. Saved by mighty Joe Young. As Mafous having his hand checked out there by the medic on the bench. A little surprised. As I said, I saw Mafous, I thought it hit him in the leg.
I mean, the way he was going down, it's hard to tell whether he's holding his leg or his hand. And it looks like it's his hand, the way they're testing that, his right hand.
You hope he's okay, as once again, puck is won back. That time by Babanko as Minnie goes back to play. Sends it up towards the neutral zone, but Daunt cuts it off. Yarwood missed the attempted, I guess you'd call that a swipe, George. As once again, men are trying to get it set up behind the net. Having some trouble moving it along. Timofeyev couldn't play it out. Right back, moved down low for the Icebreakers as they try to set it up down low. Again, the passes continue. Right back to Don at the point. Timofeyev on him. Fired through. Joe Young with a big save. Berger will pick it up to play. Berger looking back. Skates right by Diaz. Now he'll pass to Diaz. Diaz dumps it down low as Yarwood chases after. Puck moved back along again as Humard moves it along back for Diaz. Right back down low again, and the Icebreakers trying to get something started. They send it out to the point again and still can't seem to find the lane they're looking for. Diaz back, fired, and blocked away again by Joe Young. Knocked down by Timofeyev, and he is moving. Timofeyev gets over the red line, dumps it off of a stick, and that is deflected up into the netting. Essery is free to go, and they have killed another one, George.
They have, again, penalty kill coming out pretty strong. We're talking about 84% coming in tonight, and so far 2 for 2. I think most of the concern is for Ahmed Mapouche, who's now got a bag of ice on that right hand.
And is sitting over there towards Troy passing him.
Yeah.
So, again, Pucci can't win the draw, move back along, as that'll be dumped back in the zone. Pucci on the chase, pushes it through, has possession, turning, looking for a lane, sends back to the defense, right back across. Kyler Matthews fires, deflected over the shoulder and over the top of the net, as again trying to get it going is Brandon Tucker. Puck is kicked through by Pucci, sent ahead for McKenzie for the Icebreakers, and now Tucker moves it back along, gets it out to center ice. Unable to play it was Nadia, as now the Enforcers. Andrew Harrison looks up, fed across, played out there. Tucker moves it back along, and Pucci on the chase. Pucci can't get there. Picked off by Berger, now Pucci has it again. Pucci sends back to the defense. Yarwood with it, fakes a shot, dumps down low, and nobody there. So men are trying to set it up. It's moved ahead, and here comes the Icebreakers. Back the other way, looking, firing, saved by Joe Young on McKenzie. McKenzie, a heck of a shot there. Of course, no chance for a rebound as Joe Young. There's heck of a graphic. As mighty Joe Young up there on the screen. Well, never a dull moment,
Nope,
George.
Never a dull moment.
As Elmira back in their own zone. Hudson Michaelis waits. The puck is dropped. One back by Menner. Firing shot off of a leg in front. Knocked back down again. As Spencer Carter had some trouble moving it along. Michaelis feeds it across, and here comes Marco Novosel. Novosel gains the red line, dumps it in and around the boards. Mark Essery on the chase. Move back for Juric. Juric right back again to Michaelis. Swiped off of his stick, and now Novosel has to turn and chase. Novosel cuts his man off, moves the puck back to center ice, and dumps it down. As Nosbaum going to no, he lets it go, and the Icebreakers get an icing. Smart play by Novosel to chip it back out, just a little too much on.
A little too far. Just a little too much.
Take it, though. I mean, that's not a bad play. As he cut off his man just the right angle and didn't give up the odd man rush. So 13:46 to go, a 2-0 Enforcers lead, and still a lot on the line here tonight. Michaelis battling. No, it's one back by Diaz. Diaz passing across. Again, men are shooting up and over the top of the net as Tyler Juric tries to chase it down. Diaz going to beat him to it. Passed across again. Another opportunity here for Henry Berger. Berger, passes across off to the far side where Michaelis will pick up. Michaelis has it, taking it back behind the net. Still working it around the zone. Michaelis taking a tour of the offensive zone at this point, dumping it back down right in front. Mark Essery fires, and oh, what a beauty as he tried to go 5-hole. Nussbaum just read it perfectly as Daunt comes back the other way. Daunt fires, saved by Joe Young. Moved back down low and picked off again. Moved ahead for Essery. Essery looking outside the zone. He hurries it ahead. He's got Carter and Juric with him. Essery cutting towards the front, deflected and over the top of the net. Juric picks it up. Juric moves down low, still keeps possession. Towards the front he can. He drops it there for Michaelis. Michaelis sees Essery in the slot, can't get it to him. Now he moves it across for Juric. Juric, dump pass again, move back up and all the way down. This could be, will be, is icing. As Menner will not be allowed to make a line change. I'm confused now. What's going on? They're pulling Juric towards the penalty box?
For what?
Juric is being taken towards the penalty box, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why.
And now I think you just got an extra one.
Well, one good thing, though, Mapouche is back out there.
Glad to see that.
After icing that hand.
So back to the Seneca Beverages penalty kill. Seneca Beverages reminding you not to get boxed.
By drinking responsibly.
We'll wait to see it. The signal I saw was a slash, and then I thought the referee made an extra maneuver. I thought we had some extra time, but apparently not. So 2 minutes on the board. You said it so far, George. 2 for 2. Patterson still arguing his case here. Brent Clark saying something to the official out there at center ice. As now again, 2 for the slash is the call. That one flipped back towards the blue line, but Dom Horvath keeps it in. Horvath, top of the slot, fires it down as Steele moves it along the hash marks. Right back up to Horvath. Horvath looking for a lane, back to Steele. Steele one-on-one with Mafus now, back over to Horvath. Horvath winds, fires, deflected down low and into the corner. Going back towards the point, trying to move it along again as Menor trying to get it set up. Horvath moves it back down, and again the passes continue. Broken up by Ahmed Mafus. Mafus off the boards and all the way down. 30 seconds killed for the Enforcers so far. And again, liking what we're seeing on the PK here, George.
Absolutely.
Steele picks it up, looks ahead. Mafus hanging out at the blue line as the Icebreakers will jump ahead. Moved up to Dant. Dant looks, fires, and it's off the back of the glass there. Played back again. Berger passes to Steele. Poke checked away by Mafus. Mafus brings it in the offensive zone. Cuts through into the slot, looking, firing over the top of the net. And Mafus chases down his own rebound. Mafus, knowledgeable, wily veteran that he is, killing time. He turns, drops for Kyle Stevens. Stevens looks ahead. Stevens about to be hit pretty hard there by Wolf as that one's moved back along. Played off there by Kyle Stevens. Picks up the puck and moves it into the corner. Still more time being killed, down to 45 seconds on the advantage. And a stick there by Jakob Wolf getting caught up in Mafus's equipment. As in the other way comes Nadia, fires, and a glove save by mighty Joe Young. 36 seconds to go. So still 11-13 to go here in period number 2. A little bit of a post altercation between Wolf and Stevens, as that appears to be broken up quickly.
Yep.
Little concerning. Don't want to see any extracurriculars here.
No, unfortunately, right now Mentor starting to work their way back in the shot category. They only had 6 coming in, and they already got 7 in this period, and we're not even at the halfway mark.
As Babenko pushes the draw back, slapped ahead. Diaz can't control. Timofeyev couldn't pick it off the bounce, as now Timofeyev trying to get around Jakob Wolf. Puck is moved back in, and here comes the Icebreakers. Another chance, wrapped around towards the front, knocked away there by Patterson, as Isaiah Crawford once again showing up here. He is having himself quite a night. Passed ahead to Timofeyev. Timofeyev cutting through in the middle of the circle, fires back towards Patterson. Patterson can't control, and now Wolf will start out the other way. Wolf into the offensive zone. Drop pass back for Henry Berger. Berger moving it around, back behind the net. Broken up, pushed back towards the blue line, and just out of the zone. As it's pushed ahead, trying to get through is Babenko. He can. Now it's pushed ahead, and here comes Tyler Jurich. Jurich in, trying to get around Wolf. He's tied up. Still with it is Jurich. Jurich passes across. Yarwood fires, and he didn't get all of that one. Babenko back behind, wraps it around the boards. Yarwood checking his stick to make sure it's not broken after that one. As Jurich laying the body now. Don't see a ton of that from Tyler Jurich. Back the other way, here comes Nadia. Cutting through, looking, firing, deflected, and into the netting. That field goal is good, George.
Unfortunately, almost. Oh, there we go. There's the Happy Gilmore.
Well, 10:07 to go here in period number 2, so almost halfway through this game. Enforcers a 2-0 lead here in the second period. And Joe Young looking solid back there, although a lot of credit to Kent Nosbaum down the other side.
I have both goaltenders showing up well tonight. Thursday night, a tough night to play on Thursday night.
Rolled back behind, Gino Mini rolling it up for Jurich. Jurich fires it ahead. Here comes Michaelis. He's got Essery over the front to Essery, and he just lost control. Essery, a beauty of an opportunity, and now he's going at it with one of his former teammates. Puck is moved back to Patterson. Patterson right back ahead to Michaelis. Michaelis deflected in front, and now Essery on the chase again. Essery slows up. He's running to the boards hard. Puck thrown around back to Gino Mini. Mini looking for a lane, fires it through, deflected by Essery. Pushed to the sideboards, right back out in front. Hudson Michaelis tried to get Jurich to deflect it, and again the puck will be moved back out. Here comes the Icebreakers back the other way. Moving it ahead is Gummo. Gummo pushes it down deep as again men are trying to get something started. Wrap back around behind. Going back to play now will be McKenzie. McKenzie dumps it down low. Michaelis gets in the between that pass and starts it out the other way. Michaelis breaking out. He's got Essery. Passes it ahead. Michaelis and Essery into the offensive zone. Looking. Can't get it through. It'll be rolled back out. And here comes the Icebreakers 3-on-1 if they hurry. Steele has possession. Looking. Firing. Saved by Joe Young. And with 9 minutes to go, that brings us to the media timeout. We'll be back here on Mixler.com.
Elmira Enforcers are at home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, It's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PUCK.
Hello, this is
All right, well, they're recognizing the veterans of the game yet again. And the Enforcers raising their sticks in celebration of these brave men and women who fought for our country. And some gave the ultimate sacrifice, obviously not here tonight. And we thank everybody who took the time to go out there and serve and fight for our country.
Absolutely.
So, 9 minutes to go in period 2. The Enforcers going back to battle in their own way. 2-0 lead, and Menor has not stopped coming here, George.
No, I mean, we talked about they only had 6 shots there in the first period, and again, at the halfway mark of this period, all the way up to 14, so they've been laying it on Joe Young a little bit more, but he's had some fantastic saves. That one kick on the breakaway in the first, and then a glove save with some authority here earlier in the second.
Has now picked up by Marco Novosel, flipped back towards center ice, and unable to clear it. Now Novosel trying to throw the body, but again, Menor with an opportunity. Shot goes just wide. Going back to play it, Dominic Horvath, the one-time enforcer, knocked back down by Kyle Stevens. He gets it out and ahead.
Is that a hand pass?
Stevens saying he knocked it down, but the official goes over to talk to him and say, you threw it around behind your back. So I'm guessing he's saying that it's, hold on, are they? They are sending him to the penalty box here.
Mafus is up, now he's coming out.
I don't think the official's clear on the rule here. Because he's checking with the
hand pass
the other official. Yeah, I didn't think so either, but now they are going to send him to the penalty box. Delay a game is going to be the call.
For what?
Ahmed Mafus looking a little bit perplexed here, as well as the two officials huddling one more time. You like to see when the officials get together, though, because you feel like you're getting an accurate ruling one way or the other.
I don't. Nope, they're pulling him out.
Now they are going to.
There we go.
All right, so
okay.
Mafus is just trying to get an explanation here.
I've never seen a hand pass call for delay a game. I've seen a lot of things that could have been delay a game in this league that haven't been called delay a game.
Well, so either way, we're back to 5
okay.
8:43.
Whatever they say.
Like I said, you like to see that
they're dropping the puck over here.
Well, it has to be right, yeah, right where the incident occurred. Nope, they're going to send it back into the zone. All right, so everything is now cleared up. Both referees have explained it to the coaches, and, well, 5-on-5 hockey in the Enforcers' defensive zone. So, Kyle Stevens, Stuart Daunt ready to drop the puck. As a win back for Kyle Stevens, Gino Mini wrapping it around, looking for Ahmed Mafus. Mafus leaves it there for Stevens. Stevens looking ahead. Timofeyev brings it in the offensive zone. Stevens bolting towards the net, firing it through, and Stevens couldn't quite tap it home. Gino Mini shoving it down low, and he was looking for Ahmed Mafus. Mafus will chase it down, picking it up right back towards the front, and Stevens just a foot ahead as this puck will be flipped back out, played out by Gino Mini right across to Ahmed Mafus. And again, Isaiah Crawford has been all over there for the Menor Icebreakers here tonight. Pass back behind as Patterson looking ahead. He fires it up for Mafus. Mafus bounces it back in the offensive zone. Horvath goes to play. He's pressured off there by Timofeyev. Mafus takes a rough ride as Timofeyev keeps possession momentarily before Stuart Don now has it at the blue line. Sent back for Dom Horvath. Horvath off the boards. Crawford deflects it in, and now Gino Mini chases it down. Gino Mini up the boards. Chasing after now is Patterson. Trying to move it along. He can't get it through as Brett Gummo coming up with a big stop there, keeping it in the Mentor Icebreakers offensive area, as that's along the far side boards, moving it back in. A big hit there by Gino Mini, but still with the puck firing just wide. A beautiful play by Tyler Humard, as this will be knocked down by Gummo. Fired down in the corner, chasing after it, Jakob Wolf. Wolf dumping it down along, and it's pushed back through by the Enforcers, who are hemmed in their defensive zone here pretty snugly. As this puck is moved out, here comes Kyle Stevens. Step on Timofeyev, cutting through, right in. Timofeyev taken off, and that'll be a penalty as it's touched. Hook is going to be the call, and the Enforcers will go back to the Labella power play. Labella reminding you we are powered
by partnership, and so far, Enforcers 2 of 3 on the power play here tonight. For one on the 4-on-3, but pretty obvious call there again.
Well, you can't blame Berger for taking that one.
No.
Any coach in any league is going to take that penalty all day long, because Timofeyev certainly has a nose for the back of the net. Last power play didn't take very long, George. No. Seconds off of a face-off win as that puck pushed back through. Timofeyev couldn't keep it. And now here comes Jakob Wolf. Wolf cutting through. One-on-one with Yarwood. Poked aside. Joe Young covers. And Wolf will recover back behind the net. Timofeyev having to battle as Wolf really giving him all he can handle. Mentor has possession here. Short-handed. They still continue to control as it's moved back along. Played here by Krivo Shapkin. As I said, glad to see him back and doing okay after his scary hit earlier on in the game. Here comes Stepan Timofeyev. Timofeyev into the zone. Cuts through. Drop pass for Mafuz. Mafuz across. Wide fire off the side of the net. And you don't want to get in front of a Tyler Jurich slap shot. Back again. Mafuz. Back down again. Playing it out is Jurich. Speeds back. Yarwood right down low again on the near side to Patterson. Patterson, who had the tip home on the last goal. That one bounced down, and Joe Young will have to play with 1:05 to go. Joe Young left it there for Patterson. Patterson looks up the ice. He fires it through to Mafuz. Mafuz across to Stevens. Stevens fires, and it's saved there by Nussbaum. Mafuz slapping it down deeper. Couldn't get it to go, as now that'll bounce all the way down the ice off a great clearing attempt there by the Icebreakers. Joe Young off the boards. Right back for Patterson. Patterson trying to get a jump with a icebreaker down deep in the Enforcers' defensive zone. Mafuz slows it down and takes his time. Mafuz right across the front, looking, firing, and it's covered up by Nussbaum as Patterson didn't get everything he wanted on that one.
No, and it was beautifully set up because Mafuz just kind of slowed down. He took the eyes of the Icebreakers away from Patterson, who just kind of snuck around them behind him and then had a wide open net if he was able to get the whole stick on the puck.
Well, you talk about it sometimes about players finding a way to go invisible, and Patterson did there, and it's not easy for a guy that tall to be invisible. No. As now Hudson Michaelis to take the draw. Mafuz getting some rare time off on the... Oh, no, he's still out there. As that's moved across, Mafuz will pick it off. Dump back across for Jurich. Thought Mafuz was getting some rest as Michaelis took that draw, but no. Moved back along and shoved out of the zone. 20 seconds to go. Berger already standing in the penalty box. He's ready to get out. He's looking for direction as the Enforcers still have 12 seconds. They got one more rush here. If they hurry, here comes Hudson Michaelis over the blue line, over the red line, along the near side boards. Hudson cutting through, trying to cut towards the front, does shot, and can't get it to go. Puck now moved up. Berger not able to get there. That should be icing and will be, as Berger came back, and the referee not happy, or excuse me, the Mentor Icebreakers coach not happy, as they're huddling. I think they want the face. They are saying icing, so icing will come all the way back down. And the Icebreakers will be hemmed into their own zone with the same players they had just out there. Well, maybe not. 5 players out there, and I guess that'll do. Not going to be too stringent on who's out there, I guess, as once again, Stuart Daunt ready to take the draw. Face off one back again as Pucci has had quite a good first night here on the Enforcers lineup.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been all over the place.
Dumped back down by Matthews as going back to play. The Icebreakers lose possession as Pucci, just as we say that one's out of play, and that'll be a delay of game. So the Icebreakers will go right back on the penalty kill here.
Whew. At first I thought they were going to get the trip, but they got the delay of game. And this is what an actual delay of game penalty looks like, John.
Well, taking a seat in the box is going to be Josh Lemke, his second time in there tonight. Getting very familiar, although his first time didn't last very long.
Nope.
So 4:52 to go in period number 2. The Enforcers back on the man advantage. And back on the ice goes Ahmed Mahfouz, as he hasn't had much time to breathe off the ice here tonight, George. Doesn't often usually, but so Mahfouz trying to win the draw, cannot. Moved up the boards, blocked down there by Timofeyev. Top of the slot, fires, and it's off the post. Beauty of an attempt there by Stepan Timofeyev. Yarwood battling, trying to keep the zone. Still trying to push it down deeper, and it's finally cleared out as Timofeyev will chase it back down. So the first 15 seconds went the way the Enforcers were hoping. Really strong play there as Timofeyev takes his time. Looks up towards center ice. He's got Mahfouz circling around out there. Instead decides to pass to Patterson. Right back to Timofeyev. Clearing it wide to Yarwood, and it's dumped into the zone. Glenn Patterson works it down deeper. Drop pass there for Tyler Jurich. Jurich takes it behind the net now. Thrown back towards the point where Timofeyev picks it up. Moves it back down low. Picked off by Jurich. Sent back to Timofeyev. Timofeyev moving towards the slot. He waits, moves it down low to Mahfouz. Mahfouz tries a quick pass there towards the slot. Big stick up high to Tyler Jurich. And out the other way, here comes the Icebreakers. Playing it off. Krivo Shapkin looking, firing, and it's off the arm of Mighty Joe Young. Puck is moved quickly ahead as here comes Glenn Patterson. He's got Jurich joining the rush right behind him. Patterson cuts in front, fires, and a goal! Glenn Patterson! 5-hole, and the big man scores again. Second of the night, 10th of the season. Glenn Patterson with a beauty. And it's once again, George, on the power play.
It's a little surprising there. I mean, usually you don't see Glenn Patterson coming in and dragging across the net when he had Jurich trailing him. I thought he was going to drop it off and let Jurich take that big slap shot. But a beautiful move. Soft hands there by Glenn Patterson, his second power play goal of the night.
You see him take Nussbaum right across the front of the crease and just open that 5-hole just enough to slide that puck through. And Glenn Patterson is officially on hat-trick watch.
Yeah.
3:42 to go, 3-0 Enforcers lead, flipped ahead. Yarwood passes across, Kyler Matthews ahead to Mahfouz. Tapped down as Henry Berger will look to move it quickly back up the ice. Menor now with 3:33 to go in period number 2. Has to be doing the math. They got to get something going here. Yarwood a drop pass to Kyler Matthews. Matthews looking ahead, firing it up. Mahfouz deflects it, but right onto the stick of Diaz. Diaz has his pass deflected and moved off. Mahfouz ahead. Mahfouz into the offensive zone. He's got Timofeyev cutting towards the front. It's broken. No, it was loose there, and the referee blew it dead. Good thing for Nussbaum because Crawford went flying into him. Just trying to get back and help out. That's always the most dangerous play right there. Defenseman goes barreling into his goaltender.
The time you saw, and especially the way the skates go.
When
guys go down like that. We saw that in the
Islanders game the other night. Yep. So it's going to be, I'm so used to saying it now. Essery, Michaelis, Jurich on the backside. Patterson and Gino Mini. Move back. Jurich has it. Jurich fires over the top of the net. That'll bounce down in the corner for Hudson Michaelis. He sent it back. He was looking for Patterson. Patterson not as anxious to get the shots on the 5-on-5 as he is during the power play. This will be dumped. That's not going to be icing as Gino Mini goes back to play. Mini tries to move it up the boards. Essery flipped it along, but not out of the zone. Right back across, and almost an excellent opportunity for the Icebreakers as that one's moved ahead. Nadia sends it back again. Puck is flipped again down low, trying to battle for it. Still moving it along was McKenzie there. Picked off, and the Enforcers trying to battle that puck out of the zone. McKenzie throws it back down low, looking for a lane. The Icebreakers send it back to the point. Again, Molfetta dumps it down in the corner. McKenzie with another opportunity and another save by Joe Young. And McKenzie and Patterson. Well, Patterson gave McKenzie a little shove after he took an extra swipe at the goaltender. And then McKenzie turned around and saw Glenn Patterson and said, maybe not.
No, a little more than one extra swipe. Took a couple more pushes at it. And then, of course, when you see Glenn Patterson standing behind you, you're like, nope, I'm good.
Well, McKenzie would have had to get up on 2 or 3 of his teammates' shoulders in order to battle with Glenn Patterson. As that puck is pushed back through, trying to keep it in the zone, but out the other way comes Mahfouz feeding Timofeyev. Timofeyev cutting wide, looking, waiting, firing, and it's blocker to side. Big stop there by the Menor Icebreakers netminder Kent Nussbaum. Dumps back in. Joe Young makes a stop, and he holds on to it, not giving a chance to McKenzie. Big hit there in front of the Icebreakers bench back at center ice. And, well, the Enforcers showing they're not going to be pushed around in their house.
Nope. They've They've played a pretty strong all-around game. Again, the power play's been good. The penalty kill's been good. They've been laying the body with some pretty clean hits. Everything's looking good so far.
Well, Stevens loses that one right back to the point, deflected into the gut of Cameron Yarwood, and he needs a second to breathe. Tipped in front, and Joe Young again. Mighty Joe Young. We talked about it in the intermission report, George. Union just turns out goaltenders.
They do. I mean, he hasn't had to make too many tough saves. Again, he's had, I'd say, 2 or 3 pretty excellent saves so far, but he's standing in strong in net.
Puck is pushed back through. Timofeyev will flip it towards center ice. And again, it's won back. Wolf sending it back to Berger. Berger turning in his own zone, wrapping around behind the net. Looks up the ice, firing it through. Tipped there by Wolf and covered up by Joe Young again, who gets a snow shower for his trouble. As once again, 1:42 to go. We were talking about pace, and Menor wants to slow it down right now.
They absolutely have. I mean, the first, which just kind of flew by pretty quickly. And we're an hour and a half into this game time-wise. It kind of, like you said, slowed down this second period.
Well, we'll see.
A long line change.
Very long. I think the close ref there was giving an admonishment for the snow job. You don't. I believe that is has been moved to an illegal play, so I believe it was a warning that was being issued. As now again, puck is moved back along, played off here. Kyler Matthews dumps it along for Cameron Yarwood, who appears to be okay after taking that puck to the gut there in the last frame. Again, goalies have the protection. The defenseman may want a little more, as once again Cameron Yarwood moves his way out. Berger tripped over the red line back there at center ice, as now it's moved ahead. Ahmed Mahfouz into the offensive zone. Looking, waiting, fires across. He was looking for Kyle Stevens, couldn't connect, as that'll be flipped back to center ice for Cameron Yarwood. Down to 1:10 to go. Yarwood back to Kyler Matthews. Matthews goes back behind the net, as Yarwood tells him to take his time. Enforcers sent ahead, up for Kyle Stevens. Stevens cutting through, looking for Timofeyev. Puts it off, but Timofeyev just a step ahead, as Timofeyev gets run off behind the net. Right back down low, Stuart Don. He takes a hit there from Ahmed Mahfouz. Back towards the front. Stevens, a cross shot, and unable to bury it was Timofeyev, and he's looking down to the ice. Timo looking for answers there.
I mean, we talked about how great Timofeyev did in the last time against Mentor, where he had 5 points, 2 of those goals. He almost had another one. He had a beautiful pass in front of the net right there, but Nussbaum's been playing pretty strong tonight despite giving up those 3 goals.
He is a monster down there, too. You look at him, and that is a gigantic goaltender.
He looks like a Yeti down there with the all white.
With the all white, I can see it.
Yeah.
As this puck moved back along, trying to come away with it. It's moved back. Babenko has it. Babenko fires over the top of the net. And again, the puck is rolled around the boards. Spencer Carter goes back to play it as the fans of Elmira College come to their feet, chanting the name of their former Flying Eagle. As this puck will be moved back up the boards. And here comes McKenzie getting it out of the zone. Moved ahead to Nadia. Nadia, he's cut off there by Spencer Carter. Moved back along. Glenn Patterson throws it up the boards. Trying to play it along. It's kept in the zone by Menor. Big hit by Babenko again, as this puck will flutter back to center ice. Hudson Michaelis trying to chase it down. He pushes it ahead. Here comes Hudson Michaelis. Rookie of the month, cutting through towards the slot. Right back for Tucker. Tucker, drop back. Babenko with a shot. He couldn't get it to go. And that will do it for period number 2, as the Elmira Enforcers is going to take a 3-0 lead to the locker room, George.
Again, it was a little bit of a slower period, but everything has worked. The offenses look pretty solid. The power play has been good. The penalty kill, 3 for 3 so far. Mighty Joe Young standing on his head in net. What more can you ask for from this team right now?
Not much, because honestly, the Enforcers have put it together here through 40 minutes of play. However, you know what that means. 20 miles, 20 smiles. Nobody rides for free. Enforcers, a big task ahead of them, as they got to shut down the Icebreakers for 20 more minutes. We'll step aside, go to the break, as the Enforcers' second period intermission report kicks off right here on Mixlr.com.
At home Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PUCK.
Hello, this is Ahmed Mahfouz, captain of your Elmira Enforcers. If you're looking for something to do when the Enforcers are on the road, come on down to the rec rink and take part in the Rock and Skate. It's a great night out with friends, family, and other great Enforcers fans. At just $5 for admission and $5 for skate rental, it's a real power play every Friday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Go Enforcers, go.
Hello and welcome back into In the Booth. This week I'm joined by a very special guest, owner Robbie Nichols. Robbie, thanks for taking time out of your schedule.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, we got a few things to get into here. Obviously, the trade deadline just went by on Monday. Obviously, a big day. The Enforcers stayed pat. What was the outlook for you and Coach Clark going into this last part of the week?
Well, we wanted to, we think we've got a strong team. Our forwards are really, we're pretty happy with them. We got a lot of firepower. We like the way the guys are playing. We added some pieces early on. Our trade deadline actually started a month ago when we started getting some pieces for down the stretch. So we're pretty happy there. Back end, we think we're pretty happy there. And goaltending, the way the two guys are playing, we're pretty happy there. So we're out shopping and looking, but nothing really changed what we have. So we're happy with the team we have.
When you went into the trade deadline, obviously fans are always looking, hey, it's the deadline, not looking ahead like you guys were with Jurich and some of the other moves you made early on in the season. Were you shopping for something in particular, or were you just kind of open to offers at that point?
We were just looking anything that could make our team stronger and deeper. We just wanted to maybe get a little depth, make sure we have enough defensemen, enough forwards, and enough goaltending. And, at the end of the day, it just kept on coming back. All the moves that were out there, we're pretty happy with what we have, and that's a good problem to have. The way the guys are playing lately, we don't want to upset the apple cart, too. Sometimes you bring a new guy in, and it really upsets the chemistry you already have going.
Well, talking about chemistry I already have going, an Enforcer season that started a little concerning. Obviously, didn't quite get off to the start everybody was hoping for, but it's obviously evolved over the course of the season. As an owner, is it a little bit harder, especially with the coaching background and everything, to stand back and watch, or is it a little easier for you on this side of the podium?
No, it's never easy. You never want to see your team struggle no matter what. But, I have a lot of faith in Coach Clark. We started the same way last season. We started a little slow out the blocks, a lot slow out of the blocks. And then we come on, and the team's playing extremely well, all the guys. And it's a total team effort. I met with the guys the other day, and I never really care who scores the goals and who gets the assists. And it's a team sport, and all we care about is the win at the end of the day. So no matter what they do on this team, they're all a big part of it, and we want to win as a team.
Well, as someone who's won before, obviously, you've got a championship ring from your time in Adirondack. We kind of joked about it back when we went out to Danbury for their throwback night, that the team they were celebrating had actually lost to your Adirondack Red Wings in the Calder Cup Finals back then. How do you look at teams now when you look at a team trying to build a championship organization? I mean, does that winning impact it the way that you kind of went through your career?
I think a lot. The main thing is to win at the end of the day, to get the ring, and I was lucky, like you said, to win a Calder Cup championship. I won a Colonial Cup championship as a coach in the Flint Generals, and I won a Avoca, I don't even know the name of it, but it was in the Central Hockey League. I won a championship as an assistant GM. All three different roles, and the common denominator is no matter what it takes, every piece is important. It doesn't matter if you're a goal scorer, if you're a goaltender, if you're a stay-home, shut-down defenseman. Everybody's got a job to do, and you have to take pride in your job no matter who has the goals. At the end of the day, we're all going to put rings on together. And, again, this team is built. I know it's only our second season, but we want to win a championship. We've made no doubt about it. We've no hidden agenda. We want to bring a championship to the fans, the great fans, and the great sponsors that make it work here in Elmira. They're the people that deserve it, and we won't be happy until we bring a championship here.
Well, you talked about that, and I want to go back to last year. Obviously, you put a lot of effort in for 2 years straight to bring a team here back to Elmira. There's obviously, as you stare down from my booth, no final championship banner hanging down to my right. What made you decide that First Arena and Elmira was the right spot and the right time to bring the FHL in here?
It's just really over at the ballpark. I've always believed this is a hockey city. I was here as a GM of the building and the hockey team for about 7 years, and I always believed there's great fans and great sponsorship here, and that's really why we're here. And I've always told people the day the fans go away and the day the sponsors go away, that's the day I go away. They're the ones that make it work. And if you come to a game and you look around and you see First Transit and Hilliard and Arnott and Southern Tier Custom Fab and Bully Hill and Williams and Elm, and you just keep on going on and on. But that's what makes it work here, is there's great people in the community, like what Hilliard does for us. And they're just so, and then after that, it's all their employees and all the great season ticket holders. They're the ones that make it work, and it gives us something to do as a community. It's a community arena, and it gives us something to do on a Friday and Saturday night.
We talk about Friday, Saturday nights. Obviously, king of promotion, I think, was a phrase that Andy Malinowski used when he talked with you. WWE was here the other night. Amazing turnout for WWE. Carts on Ice coming up. The Circus just announced yesterday coming back. Obviously, some other events still in the works. How does that go into everything with you? I mean, obviously very busy, but how do you kind of sort everything out and get it ready for the upcoming year?
Super busy. That's all I can say is, when the team is on the road, some people think I travel with the hockey team, and I don't. I'm here working at First Arena. If this arena sits empty on a Friday and Saturday night, I feel I haven't done my job, is booked it and bring an event here. And like you said, a lot of great events. The Wine and Beer Festival on Ice was a great event we had this year. Motorcycles on Ice. The circus is just rebooked. The rodeos re-signed again, coming back. So a lot of great events coming here. But again, it's because of the fans and because of the sponsors.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Robbie Nichols. I'll let it get back to Colby. We'll be back here next week for another edition of In the Booth. All right. Well, normally there we have the Inside the Booth with the weekly podcast episode. So this week, lucky enough to talk with owner and, well, basically everything else, Robbie Nichols. And always entertaining to talk with Robbie and hear his insight and intake on things. And always, as I said, not only interesting, but just the passion, the devotion to this community. Ever since the Jackals, Robbie has made a distinct effort to put on a quality product here, and second year in a row. And George, I think he's done it again.
Yeah, he absolutely has done it again. Anytime, I mean, if you don't know who Robbie Nichols is, then you've never been in this community. I mean, he is everywhere you look. Robbie is, whether it's in the arena, not just up here in the boxes, but also down in the seats, behind the counter, whether it's the ticket counter or the food counter. He's everywhere. I mean, in the community, last year he was at the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, which wrapped up again tonight. He's, always at toy collections and especially around Christmas time. So Robbie's everywhere, and he's doing great things, as well as Nelly.
Certainly is, and giving birth once again to the Enforcers, and of course revitalizing the life down here of Elmira in the winter months. That 1 year certainly seemed like more than that, and we're very grateful to have that back. And of course, none of that would be possible without our amazing fans, our amazing sponsors, of course, Robbie and Nelly. But of course, our amazing sponsors, we like to thank them every single broadcast. So a huge thank you, 95 The Medic, Chiropractic Center, Able 2, ACS Facility Services, Addison Family Dentistry, Airflow Manufacturing, Arcus Shamong, Arcus Stuben, Arnott Health, Bigfoots, Big Fox, Bill's Bullpen, Blaze Brockway, Bobby Rodriguez, Howard Hanna, Boulay Electric, Boucher Amhart Glass, Buckley's Automotive, Bully Hill, Collier's Barbecue, Capriati's, Carnival Valley, Cayuga Health, CC Alice, Sons Incorporated, Chad R. Hammond, Checkpoint Gaming, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung County Chamber of Commerce, Chemung County Fair, Cinnabon, Clement Center, Community Foundation, Compliance Solutions, Corel Brands, Corning Community College, Corning Inc., Corning Natural Gas, Crystal Cleaner, CVS Distribution, D&R Cleaning.
Ingersoll Rand, Jessica Schultz, LMT, Journey Fitness, Jubilee Foods, Kelly Brothers, Kennedy Valve, Labello, Lecom, Live Well, MMJ Oil and Lube, McGuire Family Dealerships, Mansfield University, Marion Decker, McNary Funeral Home, McContu, Miller's Mowing, Minchin DDS Family Dentistry, Morrison's Heating, MV2 Foundation, New Britain Roofing, New Heights Dance Theater, New York National Guard, Nucor, NY529 College Savings Program, NYS, COPBA, O'Brien's Office Equipment, Overhead Door, PS by Brandy, Papa John's Partners in Progress, Party Central, Pasquale's Deli, Patrick's Pathways, Patrick's Water Hauling, PDR Catering, Pepper Pot, and Pepsi.
Dandy Mini Marts, Das Strength, Davis Ulmer, Dean's Construction, Diamond Collision, Disaster Restoration Recovery by Service Master, DJ's and Bethy's Place, Dresser Rand, Duncan, Elbow Room, Alcor, Elm Chevy, Elmira Discipleship Ministries, Elmira Heat Treating, Elmira Structures, Employment Solutions, Excelis, Fagan Engineers, Ferrario Elmira Jazz Festival, Feral Gas, which reminds me, Feral Gas Friday coming up tomorrow with Mr. FHL himself. You won't want to miss it. Check it out on YouTube. Finger Lakes Healthcare FCU, Firestone, First Heritage FCU, First Transit, FM Howell, Foster's, Fuel Energy Services, Futures Community Support, GTP, H&R Block, Hardin Jink, Hilliard, Hilton Garden Inn, Holiday Inn, Hometown Barbecue, Hope Church, IBEW 1309, IBM, and Ideal Motors.
Pietro and Son Italian Restaurant, Potter's Hands, Quicker Printer, Raphael Gregorium, Rita's Italian Ice, Rob Sweet State Farm, Rodney Strange, Ross Park Zoo, Ryan's Distribution, Save Aloud, Skylar Hospital, Seneca Beverage, Seven Mountains Media, Shetton's Wholesale, Sherwin-Williams, Silverline Construction, and Watkins Glen Supply, Slam and Jamin Barbecue, Snap Fitness, Sorges Restaurant, Southern Tier Brewing Company, Southern Tier Custom Fab, Southern Tier Logistics, Stray Haven SPCA, Stuart Lazowski Excavation, Suburban Propane, SUNY Corning, Swan Morris, TNR Towing, T-Mare Photography, Tanner's Paws, Teal's Tavern, Texas Roadhouse, the law offices of Kevin P. Flynn, Tioga County Fair, Tioga Downs, TMR Towing, TMR Disposal, Tom South Corning Collision, Town Barber, Beauty Shop, and Treeform.
True Blue, Twinkletown, U.S. Army, Valley Bowling Center, Vasco Brands, Visions FCU, Wayfair, Wegmans, Weiss Markets, WENY, WETM, Wiggle, William George Williams, Yale's Music Shop, Yerkes Home Improvement, You Can Play, Youngsters, Ziploc, Culligan Water, Costy's Used Truck and Auto Parts, Elmira Psychiatric Center, and one we always seem to forget. They're on our pocket schedule, they're part of our community, and they are coming back for baseball season number 132, George. Unbelievable. Woo. The Elmira Pioneers.
Yeah.
Right back over there at historic Dunn Field. Want to remind everybody, Enforcers fans, don't forget the next time you need a day to refresh and unwind, stop on down to the Town Barber and Beauty Shop. Ladies, if you need a new haircut or your color refreshed, Nancy is your gal. Men need a face shave with a hot lather. Mary is the master barber for you if you need a mani or pedi. Donna will have your hands and feet soft and smooth in no time. Aches and pains, and I gotta tell you, my shoulder is acting up something terrible. Jessica will help soothe those sore muscles with a therapeutic massage. The Town Barber and Beauty Shop is your one-stop shop, offering something for everyone. Stopping today, 1128 Broadway in Southport, across from the Value Homes Center. George, gotta tell you, Enforcers right now, 3-0 lead over the Menor Icebreakers. Not gonna be an easy final 20.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, we've seen the Enforcers unfortunately kind of may give up some of these bigger leads that they've had in the last couple weeks, but again, thankfully they've held their own. They've won 7 straight games, as we've said a couple times tonight, and Mighty Joe Young looking mighty as ever.
Well, let's talk about numbers. When scoring first, 20-7. When scoring a power play goal, 20-8. When leading after 2, 21-1. George, 3 goals. All on the power play. Scored first. Scored last right now.
Yep.
And leading after 2, I'm saying the numbers are in their favor.
But like you said, we've been talking about those numbers the last couple weeks, and everything continues to go their way.
It does, and you got to wonder if the Enforcers can hold on here. And
what's on that? Anything on that NHL scoreboard? We
wanted to give you some good news that Philly 2, Carolina 0 going into their final frame.
The Flyers in first place are only a point behind first place last I looked.
They're getting there. I mean, quite an impressive run for them.
Wins.
As Dallas letting me down there and hoping they can come back and beat Nashville 1-0 over there. The Buffalo Sabres are in action, though, upstate New York fans, as they're trailing 3-1 to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Rangers tied with Washington right now.
Well, that's a big game over there, 3-3, as the Rangers continuing to find their identity this season.
The only time I'm going to be rooting for the Rangers.
Well, always interesting to see what the guys up at the NHL level do. But another quick reminder that just because the Enforcers are going to be out of town does not mean there's nothing going on at First Arena. Believe it or not,
always going on.
There's always something going on here. Saturday night, The Enforcers will not be playing. They finish up this series with the Mentor Icebreakers tomorrow, Friday night at 7:05. Saturday night, Carts on Ice, George. Go-karts.
Go-karts.
All over this place. It's going to be unbelievable. And I'm not sure how they're going to get the ice ready in time, but hey, we're going to see how it goes, and hopefully it'll be interesting and fun and exciting because next weekend, of course, Watertown and Battle Creek come to play.
Yep.
And those will be a couple of stiff competitions for the Elmira Enforcers to pretty much close out this homestand. 3-game set next weekend, a 2-game set at home before taking 2 up into Watertown. And then, of course, the week after, the Enforcers go to Delaware, and the Garden Brothers Circus returns to First Arena on Monday evening, March the 30th.
Wow.
So, I mean, really packing it in. And, again, the Garden Brothers Circus, we'll be seeing them play above the ice surface. So that'll be new and exciting to watch.
That'll be interesting.
Certainly will, as that'll be Monday afternoon, March the 30th, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the final homestand of the regular season, as the Enforcers battle these Mentor Icebreakers and the Delaware Thunder one final time before the postseason kicks off. And as I said, the Enforcers got an X next to their name.
Yep.
Men are still looking to put one next to theirs. So we'll take our final break. We'll be back here on Mixler.com after these messages.
The Elmira Enforcers. Did you know that you can celebrate your birthday here at First Arena with the Elmira Enforcers? Birthdays should be a memorable event, and with the Enforcers, you'll never forget it. Call today for more details at 607-734-7825. Go Enforcers, go.
Hi, this is Marian Decker, and at the Decker Agency, we've got over 34 years experience in helping our clients get the best insurance coverage possible. We're local and we're trusted. We've built our business on the idea that customers should be treated like family. At the Decker Agency, we offer free quotes and consultations. Our clients can build their coverages to best suit their needs and budget. Please stop into our office at 416 East 14th Street in Elmira Heights or call us at 607-734-1100 to schedule your free consultation today. And like the Marian M. Decker Agency, LLC on Facebook. At the Decker Agency, we help you protect what matters most.
This is JT Walters with your Elmira Enforcers. I love getting out in the community here in Elmira, but I also know it can be hard to find things to do. We at the Enforcers have a great fix for that. With deals for groups of 10 or more, Enforcer games can be a great and affordable time for you and your friends to come out and enjoy downtown Elmira. Go Enforcers.
All right, with that, we are back here live, and George, or as you are now known on the Twitterverse, Enforcers color commentator.
Yep. I'll take it.
All right, well, you're up there. As once again, it's time for the opening face-off, brought to you by Rob Sweet State Farm Agency on Market Street in downtown Corning, or you can visit them on the web where you can bundle what, George?
Home Auto and Life.
Home Auto and Life for a sweet hat trick at sweetrob.com. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see how these last 20 minutes play out, George, but I've got a feeling there's going to be a battle for stars here. As Joe Young, again, spectacular. And, you know, Glenn Patterson having himself quite a night.
2 power play goals for Glenn Patterson. Obviously, Tyler Jurich opening up with that 4-on-3 power
Certainly
play
did.
goal. Joe Young holding his own so far. We're not going to say that special word.
No,
knock on
no,
wood.
we are not.
Not going to say it, but he's faced 19 shots so far.
Well, let's see how it goes. 20 miles, 20 smiles. Nobody rides for free. Patterson and Gino Mini to start it off. On the front side, Michaelis, Essery, Jurich. Across from them, Dant. He will lose that draw as Gino Mini picks it up and throws ahead for Mark Essery. Essery did not touch, and that will be an icing just 8 seconds in the third period of play. We talked about Benner wanting to slow things down, George.
Yeah.
So, face-offs all the way down to the right-hand side of Mighty Joe Young. Stuart Dant out there again as he looks to win the draw. Humard off to his right-hand side, playing an interesting style of winger there. He doesn't pinch in very much, as once again the Enforcers move it out relatively with ease as Hudson Michaelis moves it across to Mark Essery. Essery cutting through, fires, goal! Mark Essery! Over the shoulder in the back of the net, 19 seconds into period number 3. Mark Essery gets it done against his former team, and are we going to get it? Nope, not going to get it. As Mark Essery takes his lap. As one more time, the Elmira Enforcers get up on the scoreboard early in the period, George.
And what a shot, too. I mean, first of all, that has to feel great for Esper against his former team, but a beautiful shot, and it looks like that top shoulder is where they need to go on Newback.
Apparently, as this one kicked back out, right back to Glenn Patterson. Patterson again still on HT watch as this puck pushed forward. Patterson picks it off, moves it towards the boards. Hudson Michaelis gets himself clear. Apparently not. Nope. As the NHL was revisiting the offsides rule.
Yep.
Throwing that out there. So face-off just sitting outside the zone here. Mark Essery gets a high five from his head coach. Stevens, Mafus, and Timofeyev out here now as that puck won back by Menor. Trying to get things started back in their own zone. Austin Weber moved it across. It's picked off now by Kyle Stevens, thrown towards the front. Broken up by Kyler Matthews at the blue line. Firing it through off of Timofeyev's leg, and it'll be pushed ahead by the Icebreakers. Trying to move it back towards the offensive zone. Firing is Diaz, and he has that one saved by Mighty Joe Young. Stepan Timofeyev looking like he wants to throw the body around a little bit more here in the third period.
He's thrown the body around a couple times here tonight, and again, a nice, good, clean hit.
So 1 minute in is finding Timo back up on the boards. Well, puck is dropped. Trying to move it back was Kyle Stevens. Tripped up there was Kyler Matthews. And out of the zone goes Cameron Yarwood. Moved back ahead to Kyle Stevens. Picked off there by Yarwood again. And Kyler Matthews right back out, trying to throw it ahead. It's flipped back towards the penalty box. Timofeyev with a excellent deflection there, just keeping it in the area of play as this one sent back towards Kyle Stevens. Right back towards the near side boards. Kyler Matthews peels off as Nadia looking to get to the front of the net. Nadia wraps around, shot on Joe Young. Another shot, another save by Joe Young. Kyler Matthews looking to get it out. Sends it towards the far side boards, flips it out ahead, and towards the neutral zone. Picked off here, Stevens, 2-on-1 if he hurries. Across to Timofeyev, Timofeyev across again, deflected in front, and they can't bury it. Timofeyev maybe should have shot that instead of passed there, George.
I would think so. Maleka didn't make a great move on the defensive side, and unfortunately the Enforcers unable to take advantage of it.
So this one will be won back again, sent back around by the Icebreakers, trying to set it up in their offensive zone. Shot is in the back of the net. Joe Young just misplayed it, over-committing, and that'll send the puck into the back of the net. I believe that'll be Brett Gummo's first as a professional player.
It's a tough one because Joe Young, we've talked about how great he's played, and to let that one kind of squeak in, that's a tough one to give up for sure.
As there's the replay. A 4-1 lead now for the Elmira Enforcers. And that's why I always say 20 miles, 20 smiles. You got to play the full 20 minutes, George.
Absolutely.
Still a great effort by Joe Young here. He's having himself a night. As once again the puck is pushed back through. Menor trying to take advantage of their recently found momentum. As that's thrown back, Dominic Horvath will go back to play. Under 18 minutes to go here in period number 3. The Enforcers want to squash any momentum Mentor's trying to take off of this as Jakob Wolf has it poke-checked away from him. Picks it back up, and he works it back towards the front of the net, firing it in front. Broken up in a cover up there as Brett Gummo looking for goal number 2. No, hold on there. Did they give Molfetta the goal? Well, let's check that there.
Either way, it would be their first in their first professional games, or at least their first with Mentor.
So they've got it on. This has to be a mistake. They've got it to Talipov, who I have as a scratch. I haven't seen him out here. So we'll check on that here in just a second as this puck is thrown ahead. Broken up, Babenko trying to move it back along. As under 17 and a half here to go in period number 3. Enforcers 4, Mentor 1. Puck is thrown back through. Diaz goes back to play. Diaz wraps it around, played back behind. As moved around by Mark Steele, thrown up the near side boards as Diaz chasing after it. He's knocked off of it by Tyler Jurich, thrown in front by Michaelis, and it's broken up again. Glenn Patterson deflects down towards Jurich. Jurich with it. Sidesteps one man, looking, waiting, firing, and it's off the post. And George, I think they heard you.
Yeah.
Back for Chino Mini, deflected and up and off the netting. That will blow play dead with 16:51 to go.
Well, again, I said earlier in this problem, he's given up at least two goals over that shoulder, and that's exactly where he went. And unfortunately, he just caught that crossbar.
I don't know if they're going down a bit early or what, but as As once again, we'll see what's happening here as Michaelis tries to win the draw. And Menor will take possession here and move it back out as that puck will be flipped ahead and the Enforcers will chase.
Now trying to tend to some business. Down in the corner is Mentor. They throw it in front of the net, but they bring it back out. Are the Enforcers. Babenko has it at the blue line. He brings it back out over the red line. Drops it off for Jurich. Jurich brings it along the near side. Looks for a man, and the pass is broken up. And now Mentor brings it out. 3-on-2 if they hurry as Meso comes across. Looking towards the net. Fires in front and it goes wide.
Just wide as out the other side. Here comes the Enforcer. Sorry about that, fans. As breaking up.
I was fine with it.
Hudson Michaelis cuts through. Michaelis loses possession, and once again, Nadia will go back to play. Nadia off the boards, bounces it out, and Yarwood can't keep as now pushed ahead by Menor. Starting out the other way, Wolf shot saved by Joe Young again.
Forgot to change my name up there from common.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it works.
Yep. That's why we love you, George.
Yep.
So 15:59 to go in period number 3. As the Enforcers hemmed back into their own zone again. Puck is ready to be dropped. And Elmira needs something offensive to go their way as Wolf sends that one off the back of the net. And Joe Young just jumps on top of it. He doesn't want to take any chances.
No. And the shot total, again, we talked about earlier how Elmira really was taking advantage of with their shots. But only up by 4 now with the 29-25 over Mentor.
Menor continues to pound away. And you give any team enough chances, they're going to bury one. As that puck pushed along, Timofeyev played it and moves it out of the zone. He's one-on-one with Horvath, trying to get around Jakob Wolf, too. Throws it towards the front. Deflected shot just wide, as Kyle Stevens has been everywhere but on net tonight. As Dom Horvath makes his move, dumping it out and around. As going back to play it, Brett Gummo going to chase it down. He's shoved off. Gummo will take possession now behind the net, trying to move it around. He takes a hard hit, and Yarwood's going to take a penalty. I'm not sure. Hooking is going to be the call.
Hook.
2 minutes for the hook, as Yarwood being ushered towards the penalty box, as he's just looking for an explanation. Yarwood pleading his case, but it's going to be another Seneca Beverages penalty kill. Seneca Beverages reminding you not to get boxed.
By drinking responsibly. I mean, a man got upended behind the net. There's no question about that.
100%.
I don't know if I'd call it hooking. If anything, there might be a rough is even to say too much.
Maybe. As once again, the Icebreakers back on the power play. Sent back along. Trying to play it out. Diaz has possession. He waits, looking, passing down towards the slot. Right back to Diaz. Passed back again to the blue line. Menor's defense having some trouble controlling that puck as Gino Mini picks it up and slaps it down the ice. Diaz will play it back in his own zone. Diaz, a drop pass here as Berger starts back up the other way. Passes off, looking for Jakob Wolf. Wolf back again to Diaz. Diaz back up towards Wolf. Wolf drops off there, and here comes Crawford back the other way. Crawford cutting around towards the middle. Fire shot saved by Joe Young. Sent back into the corner as Nadia looks. That one kicked aside there by Mafus for a moment. Nadia comes up with possession again, though. Nadia throwing it down into the slot. Fires it back to the point to Berger. Berger looking across to Diaz. Diaz on the near side boards. Fires it off the leg pad of Gino Mini, who wraps it around the boards, and that will get out of the zone. So now a minute killed by the Enforcers, and again, you see this penalty kill working to perfection, George.
Again, 3 for 3 so far tonight.
As now again, Berger looking. Berger harassed quickly there by Kyle Stevens. Stevens still harassing Berger as the puck is moved over to Stuart Daunt. Daunt over the red line. Pulls back up, fires it across into the zone, firing shot, and goes into the corner as Glenn Patterson plays it up. Daunt couldn't control, and that'll go all the way down the ice. So the Enforcers making the Icebreakers come 200 feet. As now again, trying to set it up in their own zone. Puck is passed across. Here comes Dominic Horvath. Horvath over the blue line, has it in the offensive side of the ice for the Icebreakers now. Fired towards the front, and Joe Young jumps on top with 23 seconds to go in the man advantage. 13:50 to go in period number 3. And so far, so good if you're the Elmira Enforcers on the PK.
Absolutely. Again, coming into this game at 84%, 3 for 3 so far. Looking to go 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. Everything has just worked in their way.
So again, Dunkin' gift cards being given out. We're on the wrong side of the ice one more time.
Always are.
Kyler Matthews flips that one out and all the way down. As Stepan Timofeyev taking a good long look. Nussbaum looks up the ice, feeds it along to Stuart Daunt. Wraps it back around. Losing his stick back there was the defenseman for Menor as rolled back along and out the other way. Here comes the Icebreakers. Big hit there at center ice by Timofeyev, but rolling off of it was Humard as that puck is pushed back into the corner by Mighty Joe Young. Penalty is over. Yarwood is free. Patterson picks it up, and Timofeyev looking towards the opposite end of the ice. Here comes Patterson. Patterson flips it ahead as that one will skitter its way down in the corner, and everybody will go for a line change. Menor trying to reset. 13 minutes to go in period number 3. Knocked back down by Andrew Harrison. Flipped along for Hudson Michaelis. Moved back along as Kyler Matthews steps up off the boards. Flipped ahead here for Harrison. Right back to Hudson Michaelis. Michaelis through and in onside. Drops for Harrison. Harrison over to Jurich. Jurich dropped. Yarwood with a shot. Deflected away. Yarwood dumps it back along. Thrown towards the front. Broken up and out of the zone. As Spencer Carter going to have to chase it back down now. 12:40 to go in period number 3. As Carter gets taken down behind the net. Back the other way comes Yarwood. Poke checked away from him as Yarwood will have to go back and fight for it as he's getting into it with Nadia. Puck pushed along by Jakob Wolf. Played with a high stick, and that will blow play dead and take the puck outside the Enforcers' defensive zone. So, there we are, 12:27 to go as the Enforcers, those shots on goal,
I know,
George.
that's exactly what I was looking at. Almost tied up here.
29-28, the Enforcers.
They were 2 for 1 after the first.
They were, and you know they tend to play defensively in the third period. You know that's their MO, but coming into a playoff time of year, you can't afford to keep doing that as Marco Novosel, and that is out of play. That's going to be a delay of game as Novosel will go right to the box. So
that's the favorite section for the puck.
It certainly is.
Thankfully, it's a little more purple than it usually is.
It certainly is tonight. Thursday night's always a rough crowd here in Elmira, but still always a good night to get out to a hockey game.
And guaranteed win night.
Guaranteed win night. 3-goal lead right now. We haven't talked about it yet. As once again, Kyle Stevens brings the penalty kill unit out here. Seneca Beverages penalty kill, reminding you not to get boxed.
By drinking responsibly.
Patterson has it off the board. Bounces it towards the blue line. Horvath has some trouble but keeps it in the zone as he chases it down. Now he and Crawford were battling each other for a moment as here comes Glenn Patterson. He's got Ahmed Mahfouz. Feeds Mahfouz. Mahfouz into the zone. Drops it there for Patterson. Patterson still moving it. Patterson throws it towards the front where it's broken up there by Mark Steele. Steele dumping it along the boards, and now Patterson turned around. He almost had another opportunity there. He goes off and takes a line change. Back comes Nadia. Nadia runs into Crawford. Crawford has possession and is onside. Crawford cutting towards the front, wraps around the backside of the net. Still looking, touring the zone himself, sends back to the point now as Molfetta looking, fires, deflected off of Joe Young, and pushed aside. The Enforcers clear the zone, but not very far there, George. Elmira still trying to get the Icebreakers going 200 feet, as they have not had much success with that, but still have killed a minute. Right back down for Jakob Wolf. Going back to play now is Joe Young, wrapped around the boards. Right back ahead. Played out and dumped down low. 11:10 left to go in period number 3. Wrapped up the boards and kept again by Berger. Berger fires, deflected, and Joe Young turns aside again. Cameron Yarwood coming up in the corner against Jakob Wolf. Yarwood back against the boards. Kyle Stevens picks it up. He flips it out of the zone, and that will go 200 feet. So Nussbaum trying to rush this one along, wants Mender to turn it around the other way. Now Berger slowing it way down, letting the Enforcers finish that line change. A little surprising as Nussbaum was really trying to ramp up the energy there. As that puck's tipped aside, moved back in front, and an attempted pass from Timofeyev to Babenko is now intercepted. Berger will turn it back the other way. Here comes Molfetta, dumping it along, off of Gummo. Pass back ahead, Babenko moves it in the offensive zone. Babenko trying to move it across. He was looking for Timofeyev, turns it now, he's got Timofeyev. 5-on-5 back again, as now right back to Kyler Matthews at the blue line. Dumped down low, back down low for it is Babenko. Babenko on the chase, still with possession towards the middle. Tucker fires, kicked aside there by Nussbaum. Picked up by Tucker, shoved down low again as he takes a rough ride from Molfetta. Puck is flipped back towards center ice, knocked down quickly there by Kyler Matthews. Matthews chasing it. Gummo and Matthews were getting into it there along the boards. Flipped back up. Timofeyev couldn't play. This was deflected, so no icing. Under 10 to go here in the third period. Played back for Diaz. The Enforcers 3 across the red line, so a 1-3-1 defense being played here. As it's pushed ahead, Essery pushes it back down low, and Timofeyev pinches back again. Men are really trapped in their own zone as it's played out by Gummo, trying to pass it across. Broken up there as Patterson shoved on his man, and now Kyler Matthews picks it up. Full line change for the Menor Icebreakers as Elmira taking their time. Puck is moved up the other way. Fed high and up out of the zone. Tucker tried to hit Essery, couldn't get it to him. Is now stepping up. Pucci trying to send it back down low. Picked off, and Menor will start out the other way. Played off and up ahead. A misplay there. Offsides are the Icebreakers, and that'll be blown dead. That will take us to the media timeout. And with that, we step aside for what could be the last time here on Mixlr.com.
On Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th. Thursday, March 5th, it's a Mentor Icebreakers coming to Elmira with a guaranteed win night. Friday, March 6th, it's a post-game skate with the Elmira Enforcers players. That's Thursday, March 5th and Friday, March 6th at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PAW. Elmira Enforcers. Serve and protect.
Hilliard and Buckley's Automotive present Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Are you looking for thrills and spills? That's Karts on Ice at First Arena Saturday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale now. Call 607-734-7825. That's Saturday, March 7th. Karts on Ice at First Arena. Get your tickets early. Call 734-PUCK.
Hello, this is Ahmed Mahfouz, captain of your Elmira Enforcers. If you're looking for something to do when the Enforcers are on the road, come on down to the rec rink and take part in the Rock and Skate. It's a great night out with friends, family, and other great Enforcers fans.
All right, well, we cut off the commercial there, so sorry to the captain, but we're getting back to action here as one more time the Enforcers lose a draw. That's been kind of the story of the third period here, as once again, Tucker trying to get there. It bounces one more time off that linesman. He has taken a lot of rubber here tonight as the Enforcers start back 3-on-2. Drop pass shot over the top of the net. Mark Essery with a beauty of an opportunity there again. This puck will flutter towards the sideboards. Trying to move it along. Held up there with the free hand was Pucci, but back the other way. Here comes Nadia. Nadia having some trouble. A slash down there. Getting a little physical here late, George.
They are. I thought should have been a tripping call against them, but okay.
As Novosel feeds it out, Pucci tries to get it along. Nadia picks it off, moves it back in the offensive zone, just offside with 8:14 to go. And again, as of right now, no scoring change to that lone Mentor goal. I'm completely confused.
I don't know.
Well, 8:14 to go in period number 3. Enforcers 4, Mentor 1. As this one here, as Andrew Harrison takes off and is streaking towards the front, shot and off the post. Andrew Harrison trying to extend that streak. He has 6 goals in 6 games, and he's trying to keep it going here. As one more time, Menor will regain possession. Starting out the other way, it's fired down in the zone as Molfetta dumped it in. Glenn Patterson has it. Flipped ahead. Jurich looking. Fired across again for Harrison. Harrison across. Finds Jurich. Jurich looks, fires over the top of the net, and right back towards Hudson Michaelis, but bounces on the stick of one of the Menor Icebreakers, as that puck will be flipped back to Glenn Patterson. Patterson up again for Jurich. Jurich dumps it in and around. Nussbaum goes out to play. Harrison trying to beat his man to the puck. Does. He's battling down low. Pushed ahead. Michaelis with it. Drop for Harrison. In front shot, and Jurich saying it went in. Jurich saying he reached back into the net and pulled it out. As, well, no replay system down here in the FPHL, but Tyler Jurich seems pretty convinced.
It hurts a little bit less when you're up by 3, but I don't know. It's tough. We can't. We couldn't see it from all the way over here. It's on the far
certainly
side of the
couldn't.
net. It was a great opportunity, though. Good passes out in front.
That's what you like to see. 7:21 to go in period number 3. Enforcers a 4-1 lead here on a guaranteed win night. Trying to push it back through. Kyle Stevens. That one's down to Timofeyev as the Menor Icebreaker fell down in his pursuit of the puck, as that's wrapped back down low and Diaz chases it. Moves it along for Henry Berger. Berger flips it back towards center ice where Cameron Yarwood will play it down. Over again to Kyler Matthews, right back to Yarwood. Yarwood dancing back in his own zone now as he throws that one all the way down on Nussbaum. Nussbaum looking, firing it into the corner for Diaz, back to Berger. Timofeyev certainly jumping up quite a bit here as offsides, as Wolf has to turn back around. The Icebreaker is still offside, and way offside as not getting out of the zone was Krivo-Shapkin. Now Krivo-Shapkin gets onside, and the Enforcers will push it back. Timofeyev into the offensive zone, pushing it back ahead, trying to get around Berger, does manage to come up with the puck. Timofeyev throwing it towards the front of the net, trying to break it up there was Kyle Stevens. Timofeyev will end up with it back in the corner, sending down for Mafus. Mafus looking, Timofeyev with it, fires, and it's over the top of the net, and Timofeyev looking like he can't buy one at this point as it goes back. Kyler Matthews waiting, Mafus onside now. Matthews pushes for Mafus. Mafus turning, Timofeyev goes to the bench, back to Kyle Stevens, fires, and it's up and over the top of the net again. That will hit netting, and with 6:05 to go, the Elmira Enforcers still holding on to a 4-1 lead. And George, I'm talking 3 stars of the game again. Patterson 1, Young 2, Essery 3. I'm in favor.
Yeah, I want to see what that was the one goal that they had tonight.
5-hole goal for Glenn Patterson.
Again, Glenn Patterson, a beautiful one there with 2 goals tonight, both on the power play. We're talking about Essery having to go against his former team. Jurich with the power play goal. Mighty Joe Young so far turning away 29 of 30.
So Pucci now. Pucci coming in as he's trying to win a draw back. Gets it to Tucker. Back again. Spencer Carter puts a shot on, and Essery tried to chop that one in. Mark Essery certainly playing inspired against his former Icebreakers teammates. So again, another matchup tomorrow night as it's skate with the Enforcers for the final time this season. Could be lots of fun.
Yeah.
As that puck moved across, Essery picks it up. Essery shoved in the boards hard, looking out in front, and that one will skitter through as Brandon Tucker couldn't get his stick on it. Joe Young leaves it there for Marco Novosel. He slams it up the boards. Poke check through there by Michaelis. Apparently it was touched, so no icing. As going back once again, Steele trying to play it up. Deflected back into the Icebreaker zone, and Nussbaum looks frustrated as 5:30 left to go in this third period. Played ahead for Nadia. Move back ahead, and here comes the Icebreakers cutting through. Looking for a lane, firing off of Marco Novosel was Austin Weber. And now Essery picks it up, moves it ahead. Here comes Pucci. Pucci into the offensive zone, trying to cut through. He takes a hard hit there as Weber goes back to play. Weber for the Icebreakers turning around, dipsy-doodling in his own zone as he takes a hard hit from Pucci. Puck played back again, and here comes the Icebreakers. Nadia into the offensive zone, firing it through, deflected through onto Joe Young. Cutting it back around is Jakob Wolf. Wolf throwing it down low. Again, it's broken up as Gummo couldn't handle it. Played up the boards. Tyler Jurich moves it back to center ice. Back to play again. Here come the Icebreakers trying to continue to push the pace. 4:40 left to go in period number 3. As once again the puck will be shoveled back towards the Menor zone. Played off here by Wolf. Sent back around. Played off and moved ahead. Hudson Michaelis carries it in the offensive zone. He's got Jurich. Feeds Jurich. Fires and off of the post again. As that's deflected up and can't quite get it to go. Jurich looking because he thought that puck was in the back of the net. Tyler Jurich snake bitten here tonight.
That's 2 in this period that he thought he had.
As a broken stick will now permit the Enforcers to pinch in and battle again. Tyler Jurich still battling. This puck is flipped back and all the way down. Does it have the distance? Yes. Yep. As Glenn Patterson goes back to touch. As Tyler Jurich is giving it to the referee. Big hit there on the replay board.
About to say that one from Tucker. Timofeyev's had a couple good ones as well.
Tucker did give a good one there, though. As 4:01 to go here in period number 3. So Jurich goes off the ice. Hold on, all 4 referees are gathered. Mafus getting in on the conversation. Not sure what this could be about. Aside from that, Jurich thought that he had scored.
They can't change it.
As now, Stevens, Timofeyev, Mafus, Patterson, and Gino Mini out there. Again, Patterson's still on hat trick watch. As Puck is dropped, moved back along, and Timofeyev trying to get there. It's wrapped around the boards. Played back, kept in the zone momentarily as going back to play that one was Humard. Dumped back into the Enforcers' defensive zone where Gino Mini steps up, plays it up the boards. Humard couldn't handle, hits off the linesman, and here comes the Enforcers 3-on-2. Mafuz towards Timofeyev, looking, firing, and it's over the top of the net. Gino Mini will keep the zone, dumping it back down low. Timofeyev trying to jump up and in. Can't get to the puck as Berger moves it along. Humard moves it back down low where Mafuz pokes at it. Can't get possession. Flipped ahead. Timofeyev kicks it down.
Hacky sack.
A little bit of hacky sack for sure. As now Berger makes his way into the offensive zone. 3:20 left to go. Timofeyev trying to poke it away. Now will be taken away, this time by Gino Mini as Ahmed Mafuz moves it out of the zone. Played out here by Dominic Horvath. Flipping it ahead. Blocker down by Joe Young. And Gino Mini turns it around up the far side boards where Mafuz plays it back. Feeds it to Kyle Stevens. Finds Gino Mini. Mini looking up the boards, looking for Timofeyev. This will hop down and into the offensive zone where Kyle Stevens goes to play. Right back in front, looking for Mafuz, and Mafuz's stick was hacked at there. Played up, and here comes Isaiah Crawford. Crawford with speed, fires, and Joe Young makes the save. Crawford is frustrated. 2:44 to go in period number 3. And here comes Mark Essery, Dmitry Babenko, and Brandon Tucker. There it is. Carts on Ice. Tickets start at just $10. That's this Saturday. Won't want to miss it. And some more conversation here as Mafuz speaking with the official out at center ice. Puck is dropped, trying to move it along. Tucker, who's playing center this time, moves it back, and here comes Kyler Matthews. Matthews drops for Mark Essery, kicks it ahead, looking for Matthews. Couldn't quite get it to him as that puck will be moved back to center ice, where Brandon Tucker goes back to play. Tucker drops there for Cameron Yarwood. Yarwood back behind his net. Still stick handling. Tried to feed up there for Tucker. Tucker moves it along, gets it out past the blue line, and Babenko drops for Mark Essery. Essery sidesteps one defender, two defenders, flips it back in. What a play by Mark Essery. Haven't seen a lot of that since he came over to Elmira. As now his former number had possession of the puck, hit back there behind the goal line as Essery going to take a shot from another one of his former teammates as this puck rolls back behind. 1:50 to go in period number 3. Puck is bounced along, and there goes Glenn Patterson as they make the announcement here that despite it being guaranteed win night and the Enforcers seemingly going to shut the door here, everyone's going to go home with a free ticket for tomorrow night.
Wow.
Anyway. So isn't that nice?
That's nice.
As there it is, and there's the announcement again. The Enforcers are playoff bound, baby. So now they're bringing the faceoff back to center ice as there was some confusion. So they are saying the box office will be open as well, so you can get your playoff packs before you even leave. And George, I think I've got a seat picked out right especially for you here.
Oh, there we go. That's nice of you.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
As now 1:42 to go on the clock. 4-1 Enforcers lead. Michaelis can't win the draw. It's pushed back through, but now Michaelis will come away with it. Hudson Michaelis right back again to Marco Novosel. Novosel passes across. Gino Mini back to Novosel. Novosel kicked it ahead. He was looking for Harrison. Can't get it off to him as Novosel now have to turn and chase. Played up the boards there by mighty Joe Young. Jakob Wolf with possession. 1:20 to go. Do the Icebreakers pull their netminder, George? You keep looking down there.
I'm looking down there, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
Harrison flips it ahead to Jurich. Jurich into the offensive zone, trying to cut through. Jurich pulls up, and he has that one swiped away from him. Novosel dumps it in, and Jurich has to get onside, as does Hudson Michaelis. Flip back in on Joe Young, who makes another stop. 1 minute to go as the Enforcers looking to run out the clock. Gino Mini taking laps around his goaltender. Dangerous spot as Hudson Michaelis moves it along. Tyler Jurich flips it ahead. Michaelis now puts his rockets on, makes his way into the offensive zone, wrapping it in front, and he couldn't get it to go. Winding, firing, and it's kicked aside by Nussbaum. Harrison trying to flip it back down deeper as he tried to pitchfork it, as once again, Menor will take possession and start back up the other way. Icebreakers over the blue line, unable to control, as that is apparently not too many men on the ice. That was quite a few there, George. As with 21 seconds to go, Menor looks contented to just get to the end of this one. going back to play it.
Oh,
shoved in, and now we got a fight down below us here as Kyler Matthews getting his arm loose as he and Gummo taking swings. Matthews goes down, but what a battle there. As once again, the Enforcers, Kyler Matthews will go, and, well, Spencer Carter giving his props.
Yeah. We haven't had too many of those this year. That kind of that materialized after Matthews continuing to play through the clock, gave a little extra hit.
Certainly did.
Nothing malicious, just normal body
Wouldn't
check.
think so.
And that icebreaker didn't take too kindly to it, so they dropped him here with 14.3 seconds left.
So 5-on-5, both teams getting 5-minute majors, I believe, is going to. Oh, hold on. Gino Mini out there. We may have another battle here. Let's see what happens here. Gino Mini looking right off the draw.
He's already shaking that one.
Here we go. Gino Mini ready to go as he and Steele line up. These two used to be teammates. Steele spit out his mouth guard.
The bench is loving it. At least the Enforcers one is.
Gino Mini ready. He and Steele looking, locking up. Gino Mini lands 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Steele can't get his balance. Now Steele lands one to the right. Another couple shots from underneath Gino Mini. Now Steele gets one. Gino over swings and Steele holds up. As Gino Mini gonna get some much needed respect from his teammate there. As Ahmed Mahfouz waiting to congratulate the combatant. The Elmira Enforcers haven't gotten to see Gino Mini drop the mitts much, but he's effective when he does.
He held his own. I mean, that's one of the better fights you'll see here in a while.
That may be the best one we've seen in the history. I mean, you like some of those Mahfouz ones because they're one and done?
He had a couple good ones last year. Again, we haven't had too many this year.
No.
But I mean, that was a beauty.
So,
extra glove, take off.
The Enforcer's still short a man. All right, there we go. I don't think you're going to see Tyler Jurich mixing it up here with 9 seconds left to go. As Hudson Michaelis turns around, and now Nadia and Essery are having a conversation. Flipped back down the ice, kicked aside, and that will do it as the Elmira Enforcer is going to take the W. Well, you always wonder what kind of celebration is coming next here, George.
It's always something different. They're celebrating something right now. I don't know. They're doing like a little war tribe.
I believe that's a tribute to NHL 94 from the original Sega systems. Essery going over there and giving high fives to his former teammates. And of course, I'm sure some of these new guys aren't really sure what this is about, but Essery, a founding member of the Mentor Icebreakers back last season. I don't know how many of, like I said, these Icebreakers have been around long enough to know. But the Enforcer's about to celebrate a victory here. So, here we go. We've got some penalties for it. Thanks, Steve. As now we'll wait for the Icebreakers to cross the paths. And here we go. It's celebration time. As Ahmed Mahfouz banging the stick. And the Enforcers take their circle. And dogpile. As there we go. The Enforcers celebrating a victory here at center ice. And of course, we'll send it over after the, last minute. I'm sure there'll be a knee at the blue line there by one of the possible stars of the game.
Possibly.
And then, of course, we'll have the 3 stars of the game.
And then the celebration.
And you always wonder what's to come with that.
You never know. We had dizzy sticks, we had dunk tanks, we had baseball. What did we have last time? We had... It wasn't the dizzy sticks. That was the one right before it.
Yep, and dunk tank was the Thursday night.
There was something... Why do I feel like Coach Clark was part of the last one? Did they do a race? I feel like they did a relay race or something.
3-legged race was a couple times ago.
Yeah.
I honestly am having some trouble remembering.
They've won so much recently, we can't even remember what celebrations they've had.
That is 8 in a row, by the way, George.
8 in a row, 10 of their last 11, 13 of their last 14, and 18 of their last 22 this calendar season.
And you think about those numbers that we talk about all the time, After 2, oh, here we go. We're going to get 3 stars of the game.
It's 3 stars of the game. Your third star tonight with a goal, number 4, Mark Essery. Your second star tonight, in between the pipes, number 1, Mighty Joe Young. And your first star of the game, Patty was on Hattie alert, number 91, Glenn Patterson.
And the fans of Elmira love that. All right, it's time. As we'll see what happens here. Let's take a look. Kyle Stevens hanging around. Here comes Glenn Patterson. Is Mighty Joe Young getting involved in this?
They're pushing the nets out. I see a basketball or a dodgeball.
I mean, just because that's usually what it is does not necessarily mean that's what we're using it for here.
Well, we have one out at center ice. We have a dodgeball. We have Stevens, Patterson, Mapoose, and Mighty Joe Young. Stevens is in the net.
Joe Young taking off his gear. So the helmet is off. Joe Young moves to his usual position. Oh, penalty shots, soccer style. I like it. All right. Kyle Stevens took the usual position there. All right, so we'll see what Ahmed Mahfouz looks like. He'll get the first kick. As Joe Young moving out of the way. Oh, it's kicked ahead, and no, it's just pure soccer. Kyle Stevens trying to get by the captain. Makes his way through, still has possession. Stevens fires, goal! Kyle Stevens celebrating with, I would assume that's the referee, as Joe Young and Ahmed Mahfouz having a moment. But Kyle Stevens still celebrating. Ahmed Mahfouz asking if that goal is even regulation size. So, one more time. Oh, and Ahmed Mahfouz takes down Kyle Stevens. Well, as I always say, it's always a good time here at First Arena in Georgia. 8 in a row. Woo. The Enforcers have the 4-1 win tonight, and they'll be back to do it again tomorrow, live here at the First Arena. So no out-of-town scoreboard. Elmira did everything right. 3 power play goals, a 4th goal at even strength, and, well, aside from giving up that 1 to the Icebreakers, it was a darn good night.
It was a darn good night. You move within 1 point of first place, right behind Danbury.
Certainly do.
Everything's looking up.
Hoping for some help from those Danville Dashers tomorrow night. That being said, I'm John Clement.
I'm George Stockberger.
Good night, Elmira.